from The Coldplay on Xfm 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant, and back, Karl Pilkington.
Hey.
He's raring to go. It's nice when you have a bit of time off, isn't it?
Yeah, how long have you had off now
About
then,
3 weeks.
About
About 3
is
weeks, yeah. We can't do that because we're sort of self-employed and we'd be letting people down, but it's different when you get paid anyway whether you turn up or not. But good to have you back.
I'm never off ill.
No,
it's the first time I've ever been off ill. Like,
well, no, I mean, just you're off 2 weeks and then you're off.
No, I just wish I was the kind of person who could let down an audience of regular listeners.
Yeah, but like I say...
Well, no, we spoke to you, you weren't that bad. A cold, you don't go home for a cold. We were discussing this last night in the pub, and, you don't go home for a cold. Okay, then, so moving on, what have we got then? We've got some great songs. I've brought in the Smiths, I've brought in Buzzcocks, I've brought in Neil Young, I know Steve's got some hip-hop.
Some great hip-hop.
I've got some great Elvis Costello. It's going to be great. Karl, come on, concentrate, you've been away for 3 weeks.
Just annoyed. No, stop saying that, because you're annoying me now.
Why? Oh, what you do? Go home ill? Oh, he's annoyed me. Oh, has he? Yeah, I got a bit of a headache. I'm a little bit annoyed. Can I have some time off but still get paid? Yes, of course you can,
Steve,
Karl.
right, he called me up, winding me up about this. And, right, I'm 30, right, I'm 30 now. I can only remember being off 2 times.
Oh, his memory's going as well. You'll have some time off.
And both of them were when I was at school.
School? What's school?
One when it was windy.
Why did you have time off? Because it was windy.
But to be honest, Karl, that lasted for 7 years. Your time off at school.
Wait. Why did you have time off? Because it was windy.
Were you windy, or was it windy outside?
No, it was like when...
Your auntie wasn't out the window, was she?
Yeah. When the winds were bad in the 70s, and my mum said, oh...
Whoa. What? I remember space operas and flares. I don't remember the winds being bad in the 70s.
Well, my mum just said, you might get blown into the road, so don't do that.
She had so much faith in you, didn't she? As a human being.
Is that why she got fired from the pie shop? I'm not coming in today, I might get blown into the road.
Oh, God.
The funny thing it was, right, Steve, they had this thing going at school, because a lot of people used to wag it back then. Right?
Used to what?
Wag it, sort of not go in.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? And, they sort of tried to make it interesting for you by giving you an
education.
A certificate if you did a full week.
Reward for the rest of your life with achievement. That sort of carrot.
And also, like, let you go home at 3 o'clock on a Friday.
Right.
If you'd done a full week and that.
Yeah.
So it was lovely weather all week. Then it just sort of changed on a Friday. And I got up and it was all windy.
It was always windy for Friday on 7, isn't it?
Don't, if you don't want, don't go in, because, you might get blown into the road and that. So I said, all right, then I'll stay off. And
so why did you told you to hold on to a fence or walk you there? What's this? Don't go out.
Immediately give up.
I love this getting blown into the road. Is that based on your cats that kept getting blown into the road?
Well, so I got to school on the Monday, right? And the teacher said,
Took you a long time.
Today, to punish you, you're the only one who wrecked the whole week, right? Everyone else came in, you didn't. So everyone else is going home at 3 o'clock today. But you're not. Brilliant.
Serves you right, and
I wasn't bothered though, it was great, because I said, well, you'll have to stay with me, won't you? And it was great. So all I did for half an hour was doodle and stuff. It was great that afternoon.
Yeah.
And that was ages ago. That was like when I was about 8. And that's one of the times I was off ill.
Yeah.
So it was
but that wasn't even ill, that was wind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's a bit different when you're
to be honest with you,
world, though. You can't just not turn up because you've got a bit of a cold or you're a bit fed up. I mean, we had an appointment 4 o'clock Thursday, wasn't it? And he had to call it because I cancelled it. Meeting went on a bit late.
Yeah.
Time management. Get things done. If it was important, you'd get it done. Play a record, Karl.
Pull your finger out, please.
Elvis Costello, Alison. What a great track that is. Beautiful. Well, Karl, we'd better tell them all the new great features we've come up with in the time you were off.
Right, well, we've got the film thing still going.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where you take a lead role or a major role in a Hollywood blockbuster, which we then give away on VHS worth $6.99.
And something new we're trying out, because Rockbusters...
He's dead, thankfully, yes.
He's gone for a bit.
It's over.
Crosswords.
Oh, this sounds intriguing. Where'd you get the idea from? What's the basic format of this?
Right, what I've done is, I've take like a popular saying from the show.
A popular what?
A popular saying, something that crops up quite a lot in the show.
In our show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First thing that sprang to mind was, there's this airy Chinese kid.
Oh, classic.
But more commonly, it would be something like, Karl, you're an idiot.
Yeah,
Karl, you
you're
idiot.
a fool.
Karl, you're a fool.
Oh, what did you mean you let us down again?
Yeah,
you
Karl, where have you been?
Yeah,
oh, you've got a headache, have you, Karl?
Yeah.
You better have a lie down. Typical phrases like that,
yeah,
sure.
typical phrases like that, yeah.
Karl, you're a loser. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And what I've done, I've got a load of different songs and took words from the different songs and then joined them together to make There's This Airy Chinese Kid. And then people have to email in and say what the 5 songs were.
It sounds like the most complicated game ever. I'm looking forward to it. Have you heard any of this, Rick? Because I've not heard this at all. I'm not familiar with this.
Well, all it is, it'd go like, Airy Chinese Kid! And it's from sort of 4 different songs.
Right.
And you've got to identify the songs.
Right. Wow.
How many songs in this, Karl?
5. There's this hairy Chinese kid.
Okay.
Right.
So...
and what are the prizes for that? Are these the prizes?
Yeah.
Right, well, let me tell you what they are. They're not too bad, actually. We've got Live Forever, which I assume is a CD that ties in with this new film.
Think of that! A well-known phrase from the show, and it's hairy Chinese kid.
Yeah.
What other... Where would you
There
hear
is no
that
other radio show in the
life?
world.
This is... Go on.
If you've just tuned in, I mean, what are you thinking?
What do you think if you've just tuned in? You're going, well-known phrase from Shaw, hairy Chinese kid. Oh, yeah, classic. They'll be playing that in charades this Christmas.
So yeah, this is a CD that ties in with this new film Live Forever, which is all about Britpop, and so there's stuff on there from Oasis, Blur, Pulp, etc. We've also got another Red Dwarf DVD, Marion and Jeff, the first series of that, excellent. That's on VHS, sadly, but never mind. And also the very best of Led Zeppelin, a 2 CD set there with all the classics on. So that's not bad prizes, actually. Karl, you've done yourself proud.
We've upped it. We're getting serious now. We're playing in the the bigger league. We've upped the stakes. We want Heat magazine not to, lose touch with us just because Rockbusters is gone. Yeah. I think they're still behind us.
So we've got film. You appear in a film. We've got crosswords. How is that to do with the crossword?
Because I've got words and sort of cross them.
Okay.
Right, you don't really cross them. But, good. So words. We're playing a game called Words. Word Song. Hello and welcome to Word Song.
And obviously I imagine there'll be some more great music.
But we've got a new feature, haven't we?
Which one's this?
Are we doing within the Monkey News, the new feature?
Oh, Steve.
I'm excited. You know Monkey News is my favourite feature, so what have you added to it?
Explain it.
Right, well, there's been loads of stuff going on in the past few weeks, right? But for the times when I struggle, when sort of monkeys have had a quiet week, and there isn't that much news going on, right? Come up with this thing. I sort of speak to an expert. I've spoke to him already.
You spoke to an expert? A monkey expert?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I asked him a question.
Wow.
Right. The feature, it's got a good name. That's the way I work.
Yep.
Cheapest chimps.
Right? Okay.
And what I do, I asked them a question about, how much does it cost to, keep one? How much does it cost to, feed one for a week?
Yeah.
All this sort of stuff. So I give out like a monkey story, and if that isn't enough for people, they'll also learn something else at the end of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So like...
It sounds fascinating, can I say right now?
Yeah.
That's just some of the things that we've come up with. Play a record, Karl.
Please still continue to listen there.
Yeah.
Baby, come on down.
Richard Ashcroft. Buy it in bottles on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
Karl, I need the phone number of your girlfriend. Let me explain why. I was lucky enough, once again, to be on your quiz team this week. Ricky...
Still to beat me. He's still to beat me with his team, yeah. Second I came.
The gang here, and some friends, we sometimes go down to a pub quiz in the local area, and I was very nicely, I was invited by Karl to be on his team. Twice now I've been on that team. Ricky's always on another team. And, what can I say, Karl? Do you mind me saying this now? Because I've analysed the team, and it's very much your team, and you've put the team together. You've recruited some excellent personnel. Your girlfriend's very, very good on the team, as is one of her work colleagues. And you normally bring in, someone like myself. I like to think I'm providing something with the entertainment section. I seem to remember last time I answered at least 6 or 7 questions that other people hadn't got. So I felt I provided something there. Carl, I rather like John Harvey Jones, who used to be called in to sort of troubleshoot companies. I see why you are not winning ever, and it's a rather pricey contest, isn't it? It costs a tenner to enter per person, and unless you get in the top 3, you're not going to get to see your money back. No. So I think you're going to maybe need to step down from the team because, Carl, I'm not sure. I am not sure. You consider yourself a kind of player manager, but frankly, I'm not sure you're providing enough.
Right.
See, this is funny because as bad as I imagine you are, I don't think Steve would make it into my team, so he's getting a bit cocky here. I want to know what your opinion of him, because he's told me he's great on it.
Well, you bang out of order, first of all.
Okay.
Do you have a good night when you're with us?
I tell you what, I wish I hadn't lost a tenner every time I've come down. That would have improved it.
You point out there about the football analogy.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Ferguson, when did he score a goal?
Right.
He doesn't. He tells the others how to do it.
Yeah.
Right? That's my role.
He doesn't take up one of the 11, though, does he?
No, exactly.
It's not like you can only field 10.
Yeah.
Because, we only got 10 again. I want to be in the 11.
Exactly. He's not running around in midfield, falling over.
Yeah, shouting, oh, what have I told you?
Yeah.
No.
Right. I'll admit,
And there's a limit of 5 players. We should explain that. That's the point.
Yeah, there's only 5 players on the team.
So...
But it was pretty tricky on Tuesday, though, wasn't it? It was one of the tougher...
Tell everyone the one question you got right.
It was something about...
Well, tell us the answer. The 2 words you had to say to get the answer.
Danny Minogue.
Danny Minogue. That was what you provided, Danny Minogue.
Is this valuable?
Well, no, not really, because there was at least 2 of us who also knew the answer.
Oh, well,
we gave him.
He didn't provide, didn't he?
No, exactly. We gave it to Carl. We massaged his ego. I just feel Carl.
Do you know what? I feel a bit bad now because I just he had a crushed face. Then.
Can I just tell you right now?
He just can't believe this.
Can I just tell you right now? I think the problem is this. I think there's that precious 5th position that is not being filled at the moment, I think, consistently enough by a decent player, right? You've got a solid team. I'm thinking if you want to remain on the team, you are going to have to pull your finger out and find a 5th member that is going to provide, and I'll tell you where the weaknesses are. I can tell you right now, mate. The weaknesses are natural history and science. Something which Ricky Gervais is scoring on week in, week out on his team.
There is a few...
Now, if he was available for a transfer, we could be fine. But we've got to find someone to fill in that space. Otherwise, I'm either going to quit, or you're going to have to step down. Because I don't think I can be on a team where there is these obvious deficiencies. There are visible deficiencies in the team.
And, you know, the £10.
That's £10. I'm not made of money. That's once a month.
I've seen him depressed for 2 hours when he lost £20 at a casino
after
after 5 hours
playing. Don't bring that back. Don't bring up that again.
Yeah.
That story.
He doesn't like wasting money, Carl. You know that.
What do you think? What's the solution? We've got to think proactively now. We've got to sort this out.
See, there's always other things going on in my mind when I'm in that pub quiz. For me, it's just a little bit of fun.
Sure.
It's a night out. Do you know what I mean? Suzanne enjoys it.
Yeah.
Bit of a get-together. We have a chat beforehand.
Yeah.
We have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
But there was other things on my mind.
Carl, I could do that here. I don't have to lose a tenner.
Wait, what were you thinking during the quiz then, when the questions were coming out? What were you thinking of?
Well, what it was, right, just before the quiz started, I had to go to the toilet, right, because the rule is, right, people who don't go to it, once it starts, phones off, no more toilet. They take it dead serious, don't they, right?
Yeah.
So, I went to the toilet. Now, I'm not being out of order here, it just got me thinking, right? I went to the toilet. The gay fella in there, right?
There was a gay fella in there?
Gay fella in the toilet. Now,
how could you tell?
How did you know?
Just typical, you know, everything about it, right?
Everything about it, right, yeah.
Oh.
What, large handlebar moustache, leather cap.
Butt plugs, amyl nitrate. Could I just say that these views do not reflect the views of the management of XFM or me and Steve.
Or most of the people in this country.
Go on, Carl. What's your problem?
Yeah, but this is what I'm worried about, really. But this is why I only got Danny Minogue right. Right? Because this was floating around my mind. Went to the toilet.
Big gal,
now,
isn't she?
Going to the toilet, they have like men's cubicle and they have women's cubicle.
Yeah.
Now, without sounding out of order, is it wrong for me to think gay men should have their own little cubicle?
Go in!
They should have their own... Well, not cubicle, you mean an actual toilet, I suppose.
When I was at the urinal...
Yeah.
Normally, you know, there's a fella there and you go, alright. And there's no pressure. But I couldn't go. I was thinking, should I wait? If I go into the toilet, it'll look obvious.
Yeah.
I had loads of pressure and
but
this was going on.
What were you worried about?
I'm so sorry.
What were you concerned about?
Viewers. I'm so sorry.
Well, it's like, right, listen, when I was a kid, right, And it's alright for you to go into women's toilets when you're a kid. It's like, oh, it's a bit cute, right? As long as you're not, like, over 15 or something, right?
Right.
But when I was a kid, I went into a toilet, and women, when they use their little cubicles, they don't shut the door. Some of them just sit down on the toilet, right? And you see everything. And, no, seriously, that's probably one of the first times I saw, like, a woman.
Yeah.
That, right? And my Auntie Nora when she was staying over.
What happened with your Auntie Nora?
She was, she's into wearing caftans.
Into wearing what?
You know, caftans.
Oh, yeah.
What caftans?
Big, bellowy sort of dresses.
Right.
And, yeah, I used to sit on the floor at home in front of the telly.
Sure.
She was on the chair behind.
Yeah.
She did a bit of a sort of a Sharon Stone scene.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
There was no underwear?
No.
What age were you?
What was it like?
What age were
It
you?
was like a ripped tennis ball. So.
What?
Right, we're off air. We're off air. Either that or put us in for the Sonys.
That's how I'm living.
Ice-T. That's how I'm living. Bit of old school hip-hop.
Where's RT? Alright.
Good point, yeah.
Go make me a cup of coffee or something.
Well, before you do that, can I just qualify something? I'm a little bit concerned about your toilet discussion. What exactly is your point again? I was just a bit bemused.
You see, it's a tricky one. All I'm saying is, right, there I was at the pub quiz. I go to the toilet, not thinking about anything. I try to go, right, there's a little gay fella next to me.
I love this little gay fella.
Now, the weird thing is, there's nothing stopping him having a little glance, right? Because he's allowed in the fella's toilet.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not allowed to go into the woman's toilet and have a little look round.
Right.
So all I'm saying is, should they have another toilet area?
What, for gay people?
Yeah.
And so this would be gay men and lesbians? Is that going to complicate things?
Well, I mean, I can only assume. I mean, to what point? Ask your question, right? If you're intimidated, that's a shame. But you know, most gay men aren't looking at your knob. You know that.
What do you mean?
I can only say that 99.9% of gay men who use a urinal standing next to what they assume is a heterosexual man aren't looking at his knob.
What are they doing then?
They're emptying their bladder.
No, but the thing is,
I can't talk politics for Carl.
You're saying, like, you know, about would you have one toilet for lesbian women and gay fellas, right?
What does that mean? Yeah, would it be mixed? Would it just be?
Well,
would it have a man on one? That's heterosexual man. One little picture of a woman on the other, and then what? What would the little icon be?
A man and a woman.
A man and a woman.
Just having a chat.
Yeah. In pink and dot
But
lines.
you couldn't mix them, because then what would happen is you'd get people who are going, oh, I'll play up to this a bit.
What, pretend to be gay?
And yeah, you know, sort of grow a moustache and shave their head.
And pretend to be a lesbian.
Right. Yeah. So, I see, so you know people pretending to be gay so they could go in and have a look at the lesbians?
Yeah.
Right. So that would mean that we need 4 cubicles now, would we?
Yeah, no, this is fine. 4 cubicles is fine.
So every pub
How
now...
many toilets do we need at
Every
the
pub's
moment?
now got 4 toilets.
Oh, Carl, bisexuals.
Yeah. Now, interesting.
Bisexuals. How many toilets do we need now? Call the council.
Do you use any?
Huh?
No.
No, because they're interested in everything, aren't they?
Because the little bisexual fellow will be looking at your knob.
Right. With them, what
Yeah.
you do, you just have a door, you open it, and there's one urinal there, so you can't get a queue. They have to sort of wait.
I just thought that, well, why can't there just be a thing between the urinals? So no one can look at anyone else's knob.
Wait a minute. Just to go back to Ricky's point, what stops, even if we've got the toilet for gay men, what stops the gay men who want to have a look at your willy going in the regular toilet and pretending that they're straight?
Most men don't
Who's gonna police this?
don't wear gay across their
No,
head.
exactly.
They don't have a tattoo. There's no branding yet in the British house where they have to declare.
So we're going to have to expand this,
What
so we've
do
all
you-
got to carry identity
Do you know
cards.
you can see a gay, can you? Coming a mile off. No?
No, I'll just hold it in next time.
No. Can you tell gay men? Do you know a gay man?
I'd say, probably... If you did if you lined some people up...
Yeah.
...and said, point them out, I reckon I'd get...
But hold on, we're not talking about people dressed in leather with the arse cut out and an handlebar moustache.
Yeah.
We're talking about, you know, the everyday, non-seen...
of course.
Yeah. But, I mean, suppose I put you in a room and there was 10 naked men, right?
Yeah.
And, there's 5 gay men and 5 hetero. Could you walk along that line looking at those gay...
Am I naked?
No, you don't have to be naked. Why would you have to be naked?
To catch them out.
How would you catch them out?
No, don't go into it. Don't go into it. Don't go into it. Play a record. The Thrills, One Horse Town on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington. Now, Karl Pilkington is getting ready. It's the start of a new strand in the show, a new quiz, a new competition to replace Rockbusters. Now that's quite a tall order, but what have you done?
Right, like I said, right, if you've only just tuned in, what it is, I've took, and I'll be taking, a well-known saying every week from the show, something that crops up a lot. First one that sprang to mind was...
There's a little gay fella standing next to me in the urinal?
That's next week.
Okay.
This week, there's this airy Chinese kid, right?
Yeah.
That crops up quite a lot.
Sweeping the nation.
Right? So what I've done, I've got 5 songs.
Yeah.
And I've edited them together to make that saying.
You've got words from songs where any part of that sentence occurs to recreate it.
Yeah.
Now, what do they need to do? Do they need to say what the song is? Just the 5 songs?
I mean, I was going to say song and artist, but if you want, just a song.
So there's 5 things there, and if someone doesn't get all 5, it's still worth emailing in because we might give it to the one who's got the most, and then...
Yeah.
Can I suggest we go for artist rather than song? Only because sometimes it's quite tricky to get a song title. Sometimes it's it's very odd, or it's not quite what you think it is. So maybe artist is an easier one.
Are you happy with that, Karl? It's your competition.
Right?
I mean, Steve always does this whenever I come up with an idea.
Oh yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure it's just the best it can be, Karl.
Yeah, no, he came up with a few game shows, and Steve was going, no, it's no good. And Karl said to me, he said, it's the one of The Office ever got on telly.
Yeah, but, well, we shall see how Cheapest Chimps plays out. But frankly, the fact that you said to me, Steve, I've come up with the best game show ever, it's called Cheapest Chimps, what's the idea? I don't know, I just like the name. It's something to do with chimps. I thought, well, I'm not sure that's the best game show ever. And what was the other one you came up with that you told me about?
I think a few people will be disagreeing with him, Karl. I think people will say that Cheapest Chimps could be the best game show ever.
You know, when I was at school, people like you, I really didn't like. You're a stirrer, Gervais. He flits, doesn't he, from one side to the next, Karl. The one thing, we may argue, mate, but at least we're consistent. Ricky Gervais flipping from one side to the other. One day he's on Karl's side.
When was the last time Steve wrestled you to the ground and got you in a leg clamp?
No, you're right.
Never.
What, is that supposed to be a good thing?
Well, did you see us?
Yeah, I saw you struggling in Karl's office earlier.
He was punching my legs to release me. We were on the floor, and I was squeezing him with my mighty legs, wasn't I, Karl?
Right.
It was like, I imagine that's what a crab feels like when an octopus has got it. We were playing that, weren't we?
So anyway... So, I'll play you this clip now. It's 10 seconds long. We'll play it a couple of times, because you'll need to take it in. So here it is then. What are we saying? We're saying artists?
Let's go with artists.
Artists. So email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Name the 5 artists it has taken to make up the saying, there's this airy Chinese kid.
Give that email address again.
ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
There's this airy Chinese kid.
Here we go. Play it again.
Play it again.
There we go.
I think you better play it once more.
Oh, I've got them.
Have you got them all?
Yeah.
That's nice work.
There we go. There
I
you
just
go.
remind you now that the prizes include a Red Dwarf DVD, Marion and Jeff, the first series of that on VHS, a Live Forever Britpop CD, and also the very best of Led Zeppelin. Let's play one of those actually while we're here. Brilliant. Rock and roll. One of the prizes on Carl's competition this week is the very best Led Zeppelin. That's obviously rock and roll. We've also got a Live Forever Britpop CD, Marion and Jeff, and Red Dwarf. And should we play it again so people
There's
have got
this
another
hairy
chance?
Chinese kid.
Who
Yeah.
are the artists?
Here we go.
It's tricky. It's not very easy. Once more.
One more.
Well,
Quite hard.
there you go.
Ricky
Email
Gervais
in.
at xfm.co.uk. Those prizes can be yours. I, at the quiz, also discovered, of course, and I don't know. I'm just intrigued to know, Carl. I'm just intrigued to know. It was your girlfriend's birthday, wasn't it? Earlier in the week or
Yeah,
last week?
On Monday, yeah.
And
you get?
I mean, obviously, it was a triumph with the stuff you got her for Christmas.
The condoms.
The box of condoms.
Box set of condoms.
Oh yeah.
not just the singles, the whole set.
Yeah, a complete collection.
Brilliant.
So what did you go for this
What did
time?
you get her?
Yeah, but
No,
Yeah, but-
yeah, but it's her birthday. How long have you been together?
about 9 years.
Okay, so, ooh, God, it must cost you so much.
I
every
know, but it
birthday.
starts getting tricky, doesn't it? Because I spoiled her a lot in the first few years.
Yeah.
So then you
Here's
start-
a packet of rubber bands. Enjoy them.
Oh.
Well, it's what she wanted.
Okay.
I mean, you're making out as if
No, everyone wants paper clips. Come on, what did you get her?
got her a new pair of gloves.
Right.
Alright, well.
And?
What, nice leather ones from Selfridges or Harrods or something?
They were good ones, the sort she likes. So they were.
Well, they weren't the little woolen ones that she had.
Yeah.
I thought that was a joke when she said he got me these, because I laughed.
No, but I know that's the one she did have.
When they said it's his birthday, right, it was her birthday Monday, and me and Steve wanted to get her, and she went, he got me these, because she had those little woolen gloves on. I laughed, because I thought she was joking, Carl.
That's what she wanted. I've told you before about buying presents.
Did those gloves have your name sewn in them? And a piece of string that ran over the back of your duffel coat?
You know, I've never been into getting presents and that. I had the problem at that Christmas one, that time with the Victoria Plum.
Yeah, we'd hate that. We'd hate to bring that back.
We've done that.
Because you talked about the book, because it's kind of to do with your dad, isn't it? He's a very bad gift buyer, was that the problem?
Well, yeah, my dad just wouldn't bother. It was my mum who sort of made an effort, and she sort of worked out half of what I wanted, then she left it to my dad to get it off someone, see if he could get one cheap or whatever.
I love the fact that usually people talk about, like, drinking heavily, or, violent abuse, right?
Yeah.
But here's what he's been left with and scarred with from parents is bad gift buying.
Yeah, and
That's
the
not so
Victoria
bad,
Plum
is it?
incident.
In the greater scheme of things in the world,
Yeah, but-
that's not a bad thing to have, is it?
Right, there was this is what it's like about getting presents and stuff, right? With my mum and dad.
Go on.
My mate, Colin, right? He
Colin
had,
Makin?
No, Colin Bailey.
Oh,
right? He had a little Sinclair Spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Computer,
Yeah.
which was like the thing to have at that
yeah,
time,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Used to always go round to his house. The deal was...
Not the one you had to play through the window because you weren't allowed to.
No, that's another lad.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
This is a different lad. And the deal was, he came to our house, and my mum gave him a pie. And then I'd go round to his, and I'd stay there for a few hours playing, you know, Hungry Horace and stuff like that on it.
Yeah.
Right? Now, my mum and dad knew that I really wanted one of these computers, right? So I waited about a year. Came round to Christmas Day, I thought, I reckon might have one. Turned out, they bought me the wrong one. They bought me a ZX81 instead of a Spectrum, right? And, Christmas Day, I'm there trying to load the games up, it's not working, I'm thinking, what's wrong, right? And the thing with me, when I was a kid, I used to get quite sort of agitated.
This is the moment.
Right? I found out that it needed a RAM pack to make it work, right? Looking in the thing and it's saying, and make sure you put your RAM pack in the back. And I was like, oh, where's the RAM pack? And my dad's going, I don't know, I've got you the main bit. That's it. So, I was that wound up I just was sick, right? Just sick. Oh, I didn't feel sick or anything. I just was like, oh god. Went to the sink, just sick. Because I was that on edge about it. I said, come on, we've got to get one. And my dad's like, Tandy's shut. We're not gonna get anything today. Ruined again, Christmas Day. That was after the year when my train set got blown up by our kid. The following year, no RAM pack. And now you ask me why don't I get good presents?
He's scarred. He just
I'm
threw
gonna
up.
die. Honestly, I'm gonna die. He's just being sick.
Yeah. There's no RAM pack.
Did you get to the bottom of it? Why wasn't there a RAM pack?
You have to buy them separate.
Oh,
That's why I'm
okay.
cons.
What do you mean I can't play Frogger?
Oh no.
So, wasn't there another incident when you threw up? Spontaneously threw up?
Oh.
Through sheer anxiety?
I do get it. It's not so much now because I've relaxed a bit, but as a kid I used to be quite on edge all the time with certain things.
Do you think that's what happened to your
The
cat
wind.
that kept being sick? That it didn't get the food it wanted, and it just threw up? Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
God, so they shaved it.
Yeah, but again, you see, the cat thing, I mean, it's mad. I was thinking about it the other day, right? I used to think I had quite a normal upbringing,
You didn't.
right? And someone was talking
Your
about the
mother
cat.
once told you not to go to school because it was windy, Carl. It was
Yeah.
not
Right.
a normal
The
upbringing.
cat was being sick, so she shaved it, so it was easier to clean.
Right, well, my mum and dad went on holiday, right? And I stayed at the Rosses down the road.
Oh, yeah.
Only a kid, must have been about 5 or something, right? And I was always running around in the house. I had a lot of energy as a kid. What the Rosses did, they had this cat that was dead violent, the most violent sort of angry cat I have ever witnessed.
A tiger.
It was, honestly, Steve, if it was bigger, it would have been, because it was just always having a go at you.
Yeah.
If you went to pat it on the head, it went to bite you and stuff. And what they used to do with it, to stop me running around, I'd sort of be running around, and then I'd get a bit tired, and they'd say, have a lie down on the settee. So I'd lie down on the settee and I'd nod off. And what they used to do, I'd wake up, and they'd have put the cat on my belly. Right? So I'd be scared to move, because it's like it's going to get me.
But it would keep you
But
there.
it kept me there, and it used to sort of slaver on me, and they'd sort of, you know, go out or whatever, and I'd be lying there. That's not normal, is it?
Carl, sorry, were you created by the Brothers Grimm for one of their fairy tales? What kind of a life is that?
A cat paperweight to keep Karl in place. He keeps blowing around. It's windy. We'll have to weigh him down. Be careful. Your mum probably told him that it's a windy day. You got to get something heavy on him. Otherwise, he just gets blown into the road. God.
Bless him. Carl, let's just hear your thing once more. Give
One
people
more
a
time.
final chance.
Alright, here we go.
Ricky Gervais at xfm.co.uk.
Can't stop the spirits when they need you. This life is more than just a read-through.
Ooh, those chili peppers are quite hot. Can't stop. XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
Alright.
Karl, you know what the time is? Bong. Monkey news.
Yeah. Right.
Imagine if Trevor McDonald started like this.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of stuff going on that with monkeys.
Oh, yeah.
I was mentioning earlier how we sort of making the feature grow a bit, right? So I'm thinking, I haven't told you, Steve, either. I've actually been asked to write a thing about monkeys.
A poem? A
No,
song? What?
no, for a magazine called something Apes.
Right.
They want me to
Illustrate
do.
it.
They want me to do like a column, 500 words. About apes.
About monkeys.
Anything I want on monkeys. Anything.
What are you going to write?
Don't know. Think about it.
Well, give him a typewriter. Come up with Shakespeare eventually.
Yeah.
But
You could write
anyway,
about that. Why didn't you write about that? The fact that you don't believe it. You don't believe that an infinite number of monkeys could type with people with Shakespeare.
Because you reckon most of them hadn't read Shakespeare, so they wouldn't know some of the spellings.
Exactly.
It wouldn't happen.
You idiot. Get on with it.
All right.
There's been a few things, but one that springs to mind is they found a load of monkeys somewhere. Right?
This is brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine this if this was news.
Yeah.
Go on.
I
Where?
Somewhere.
think it was in
17th century?
It doesn't matter that bit. Right?
Okay.
Find a load of monkeys
Yeah.
that are having a good chat.
Go on.
They're having a good chat. All right.
What do you
They found
mean?
monkeys that can talk.
Yeah.
They've worked out they've got about 534 different words that they're using to like have a chat about stuff.
More than you.
Yeah, what do they chat about then?
Just, things that monkeys are worrying about. Just, where do you get that from?
Who does your hair?
You going out with her again, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that?
Sorry, you can't just leave that.
No. I'm just intrigued. I'm just intrigued to know what else. Is there any?
No,
Were
I
they-
mean, that
Were they
was-
discussing the humanity? Did you see that program on Channel 5?
Yeah.
wasn't it?
He can walk upright.
Yeah.
That was good,
But
wasn't
I mean,
Did you
what
see
do
how
mean?
well
Do you
hung
mean
he
they
was?
taught them? They taught themselves this language?
it? Yeah.
Where? Where is this? In the wild? Is this? Is it? Not sign language.
It's
but
in some jungle somewhere. They found these monkeys. He heard some explorer was over there, cutting through the woods and that.
and he heard his name,
Heard
and he
some
thought, "That's what he went. What do you want, Ronnie?" It wasn't me. I didn't say.
Yeah.
I didn't say. Oh, it's Snodgrass. Where'd you get that gun?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's only me and you here.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
No, it's not weird. It's not true.
Well,
right, come on then. What's
Well,
next?
Once again, but what I'm thinking, well, I mean, that did happen.
So, well,
And to sort of add to that feature,
that's not true.
we're doing cheapest chimps.
Right. Can I just say now to the audience, if you thought that Rockbusters was bad, if you thought that piece of rubbish earlier about the Chinese hairy kid was bad, I'm suspecting this is going to be really not very good at all. I'm just pointing the finger.
What do you think of it? What do you think of his negativity, Carl?
He keeps doing it.
I just don't think you should start with the name of the quiz first. This is my only concern. You come up with cheapest chimps, and now you're trying to construct a game around that.
see,
And I'm
well-
not sure it's a proper. Well, okay. What is the game? Let's hear it.
Right, it's about a chimp, right?
Surprising.
Spoke to an expert about them.
Who was the expert?
Someone at London Zoo.
Okay.
How many bananas do you think the little chimp that they've got at London Zoo eats a day?
Right. How many bananas does a little chimp at
Can
London
they
Zoo
call
eat?
in for
No,
this?
I'd leave it. I'm just testing it out on Steve because we've already got an email thing going on here.
So how many bananas do they eat a day? One chimp per day. How many bananas?
Yeah.
How many bananas does a chimp eat a day? And does this mean that? Because sometimes I've seen them on the telly. They peel one. They'll just eat a bit of it, then they'll throw it away. We're talking a whole banana.
How many bananas does it eat a day?
How many bananas do you eat a day?
Getting angry. Come on.
Well, I'll try and have 2 if I've got time, but I'm pretty busy.
Well, I'll go swinging on your tyre.
How many do you
I
reckon?
think a little monkey, tiny little monkey, per day, over the course of a day, I reckon he probably eats 15 bananas.
Right, Ricky, what are you going for? Little chimp at London Zoo.
But hold on. But presumably they don't only feed it bananas. So
Okay.
so the question is.
It's how many bananas does it eat? Come on,
Yeah, but
Rick.
how many does it get given? It would eat 15 if it was given 15, but it might be given one slice of banana, 15 oranges, 200 potatoes, and some lettuce.
How many bananas does it eat? Come on. It's
5.
have a guess.
5?
Yeah.
Right. It's only 1.
Yeah, because it only gets given one.
Cheapest chimps.
What?
So it's pretty cheap to have a chimp.
Right. I'm on your side now, Steve.
I don't understand what happened then. What, so at the end of it, you always shout cheap as chimps. Is that what? That's the quiz, is it?
Oh, play a record.
Wait,
Carl.
so is that it? Is that seriously
Is
it?
that it? Was that the first instalment of Cheapest Chimps?
Yeah.
We'll have to see what the press say about this.
And why does it only eat one banana? Because it only gets given one banana.
I think that's all it wants.
No.
So you don't even know. You didn't even bother to
No,
ask him.
it wouldn't just get given one banana and nothing else. It would get given banana and then lots of other stuff like apples, oranges, carrots. It would get given a balanced diet.
Cigars.
Yeah. So it's just how many do they give it at London Zoo?
Who is he and what is he to you? We have not had any successful answers on your quiz, Carl. We've had people who've
That's
got
what you get
a
when you
maximum
put
of 4.
a duck in a microwave.
Yeah, yeah.
Bill Withers.
Nice.
All right.
Cheers. So I'm not talking about cheapest chimps.
That's safe. That's going to run and run.
Yeah,
that is going to run and run.
That's really got legs.
I'm going to check the press Monday. I can only assume it's a triumph.
Exactly, another Pilkington triumph.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the prize, if you don't mind, Carl, to Karen and Jeff Gillian, because they're the only one that got. They were the only couple that got the second answer, which was very, very.
But
tricky.
they got 4 today.
But they only got 4 right.
4 is the top answer. So should we give the answers
play it,
now?
Carl, and then tell us who each one is.
All right. So there you go.
I didn't know the second one.
There's
Play it
this
again.
very Chinese kid.
So the first one, the last.
Lars.
There she goes.
Right.
That's George Harrison.
No.
That's Philip Bailey. And that's Deacon Blue.
Right. So it was the Lars.
Yeah. What's the second one?
Strokes.
That was very tricky.
That is hard.
George Harrison for
Harrison, yeah.
Airy. That's all I could get. It was Ari.
Ari Krishna, yeah.
But no. Chinese. Phil Bailey.
Chinese War is.
Yeah. And Deacon Blue. Real Gone Kid.
Real Gone Kid, yeah.
There's this airy Chinese kid.
Very, very hard.
I love the fact that the normal bit of that, like, the normal bit is like the well-known phrase, there's this hairy Chinese kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, nothing happened there. That's normal. There's this hairy Chinese kid. As a phrase that often... In fact, you're right. We must have said that phrase 20 times today. When was the last time that was said 20 times?
Never. I don't think it's ever been said anywhere.
There's this hairy Chinese kid. I mean...
Even in China.
I don't think it's... Well, it's very rare.
Definitely not said in China. The prizes they've won.
The prizes they won: Red Dwarf DVD, Live Forever, the best of Britpop, Marin and Jeff on VHS, and the best of Led Zeppelin. Well done to Karen and Jeff Gillian.
I've also seen no proof of this hairy Chinese kid.
None whatsoever.
Excellent.
Alpine Stars, Burning Up on XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Steve, you were out of the room there.
Mm-hmm.
Carl took a phone call from someone.
Okay.
He's found a cellmate.
Right.
Not a soulmate, I think one day they will be cellmates.
Yes.
Because he's just like, he loves everything Carl loves, and he was telling Carl stuff, and Carl's face was lighting up.
Yeah.
He's told him of 2 Russian kids in the circus. They're covered in hair, and their mum tells them off because they're covered in fleas. Carl said, see, that annoys me again, innit? They do something else. And the bloke went, yeah, they should just make money out of being hairy. And Carl went, exactly. And he said, have you heard of the three-legged juggler? And the bloke went, no, what's that? He went, that annoys me as well. Because he thinks they shouldn't have done juggling, they should have done football.
Do you know what I mean, though, Steve?
What do you mean a 3-legged juggler? What are you talking
He's a
about?
famous 3-legged juggler.
Oh, he's mega famous. He's like the Beckham of wherever he's from.
But the other day I was looking in, I don't know, Bizarre magazine or something, right? And there was this fella who, he had no arms. So you saw a picture of him, his job was fixing watches, did it with his feet.
Go on.
Well, it's just, why pick the most hardest job to do when you haven't got any hands? Crush grapes. Or... Do you know what I mean? That annoys me.
Oh, crush grapes! Imagine him being told that, and that he comes into the careers advisory where I go, now, what do you want to do, Hargreaves? Make watches? Right, take a look at your arms. Crush grapes, mate. Sorry, you're a grape crusher. Next. Brilliant. Brilliant. I would love you to be a career advisory in some sort of clinic. It'd be brilliant.
I like the fact that it annoys you. Here's a man, he's got no arms, he has learned to fix watches with his feet.
Yeah.
An incredible talent, incredible skill, he's utilising that brilliantly. That's annoying to you. You are angered by it.
Right, I'm only being honest. Now, you be honest, right? Your watch is broke. Who would you go to? You're in a rush. You need it fixing in a rush. Now, you need some fresh wine.
Be honest.
God, you're
But
amazing.
what's this thing that you've been talking about, this video?
Freaks, right. It was a thing that was banned for like 50 years. I think it's been taken off again, but I don't know why, if it's just been deleted, right? It's a quest. If anyone out there has got a copy of Freaks on DVD or VHS, can Carl borrow it, please? I mean, I almost want to set up a camera to see him watching it. It's absolutely real. They used people in the circus of the time. I think it's the 20s or 30s of the Depression. And there's there's people, there's coneheads, there's a bearded lady, all genuine. There's a bloke they call the human slug who's got no arms and no legs, Carl, and he's just there, and he rolls a cigarette and lights it with his mouth.
I think I've seen his brother, who isn't called the human slug, is called the pillow.
Right. How does he make a living?
He,
Does anyone want to meet Carl for money? Do you know what I mean?
the annoying thing was, right, there was a picture of him, I was going to put it on
I think I've seen his brother.
on our website, we put things up like this, right? If you go to Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk /
What? You've put things like that on my website? It's nothing to do with me. I want people to know that that website is not kept or looked at by me. So, what have you put on there?
There's a fella on there who's known as the pillow. And he's, you see, I get a bit worried with things like this, because we're not sort of having a go or anything, it's just things that fascinate me.
you.
Yeah. And, yeah, it's a guy, it might be the same sort of thing. What's your one
I
called?
bet you used to stare at people with goiters, didn't you, when you were little? In Tesco's.
Well, just go to xfm.co.uk / Ricky, it is.
What's the worst thing you've ever seen on, like, a human face?
You know what it is, and
What
I
is
don't
it?
want to talk about it.
I can't remember. Have
No.
you told me?
Yeah.
What is it?
But go,
It's not
go
the
to,
elephant lady that
Go
used
to
to-
the, yeah.
Is it the elephant lady? You talked about that, I know.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it again. Go to the website and see the human pillow.
Why is he a human pillow?
That's what annoyed me. I thought he was more of a draft excluder.
Oh, that breaks all kinds of rules.
Buzzcocks, harmony in my head. Now, things are flying here at XFM. People have called in. There is a video of freaks on the way. Carl's going to see that within the week. That's exciting. That is exciting for me. Do you know what I mean? About our education of Carl. We started off trying to teach him about science and history, and now we just find that he likes pictures of hairy Chinese kids and
Who
women. Who doesn't? No, true. You've got a theory about pictures of freaks, haven't you?
You see, you always bring things up that I don't want to talk about, because I'm really worried that people, if you've just tuned in for the first time, it's the first time you hear it, and we're talking about hairy Chinese kids.
Yeah.
Talking about the human worm.
Carl, listen. People don't think that you're taking the piss out of those people. They lump you in with them. Do you know what I mean? They think that you're a freak of nature. So you can say anything you want. Do you know what I mean? Because it's honest, it's from the heart, it's genuine. So, don't worry about that.
Yeah, but Suzanne was saying last night that I've got a heart of stone, or whatever it is.
Why?
Because I wasn't crying at Comic Relief. And all I always used to say to her, get out Elephant Man, let me watch that for 30 minutes, I'll be crying my heart out.
Why? Why do you care about that but not...
Because it's, that is more real, isn't it, right? Think of John Merrick.
Sorry. What, the film starring John Hurt is more real than footage of starving people in Africa?
No, but what I'm saying is, think about... See, this is why I didn't want to bring it up, because people are gonna just say...
Well, you're allowed to cry at what you like. People can't have you for not crying at someone and crying at someone else.
Imagine that, like, if you've seen the film, you know, his head's all, you know, messed up and that.
Yeah.
He's getting picked on all the time.
Yeah.
By
It's
Michael
just-
Elphick, I remember.
Yeah.
It's just really, really sad. Whereas, you know, we're trying to help
But
out
you give him a bun
people.
and he forgets it.
Do you know what I mean, though?
He never forgets, Rick.
Oh, dear.
Anyway,
Oh, God.
we're giving away stuff again.
Yeah.
Time
Tell
for
me
the
your
film.
theory about freaks who have their picture taken.
No, I'd leave it.
No, can I tell
we'll
you...
do it next week, then.
Can I tell you what this
Go
is?
on, quickly, what is it?
Right, when he sees a little picture, like in his books he's got, he carries round those things, right? And there's like a fella with a little head with some like able-bodied people. He goes, the only reason he must know the only reason they got to take that picture, right, was so they could show their mate, say, look at me, the little fella with a little head. That's his theory.
Yeah. So every picture of a freak, they're being
Right, Steve, let me describe the picture to you. This little fella with a little head
Right.
playing on the piano.
I've seen it.
all his family stood around and mates and that. When have you ever seen a picture of someone playing the piano and everybody wants to be in on it? Doesn't happen.
Maybe it was one of those kind of Christmas cards they sent out to everyone.
It wasn't. You could see one of them was like in a rush to go away. He was probably planned to go out, and he was like, "But they were taking a picture." It's I'll be in it then before I go out, and it was all. He's out of order.
Yeah.
If you say, do you know the one? I
do know the one you mean. Yeah.
There you go,
What about the one in the when you went down to Cornwall in that little
We'll
pub?
talk about that next week.
What you want to get on, do you?
Yeah, right. We've got to give away another prize.
Yes, you lucky people. For those of you that haven't seen it, and do not have the requisite £4.99 to buy it yourselves, you can win on VHS cassette, panned and scanned. Billy Elliot, the special edition, includes bonus documentary, The Billy Elliot Boy.
Oh, and, I'd like to see how they really sort of made that film.
Exactly. Well, it's the hit film Billy Elliot, and you can win that on VHS. Because Carl, I assume you have included yourself in an excerpt from the movie.
Taking a scene from the film.
Who do you play, Billy?
I'm playing the part of Billy.
Brilliant.
And we'll have a question at the end of it.
Come on.
Brilliant.
2, 3 part of all way and go.
Alright. Just been down the valley. So I don't know where you... What are you looking like that for? What's wrong with Bally?
What's wrong with Bally?
Yeah, well, what's wrong with it? It keeps you fit and that. What do you think, Auntie Nora? You think about me doing Bally?
I used to go to Bally.
There you go. She used to go to Bally.
Used to say I could have been a professional dancer if I'd had the training.
Bet you were pretty good, weren't you? Wasn't the time you had wind for 5 minutes, was it? But you well glided across
Will
the
you
floor.
shut up?
What's wrong with Bally, anyway?
For girls, not for lads, Billy. Lads do football or
Well, I've done that, yeah.
boxing or...
Did that for a couple of weeks, so... Wrestling?
Wrestling?
Yeah, wrestling, yeah.
Not friggin' Bally.
Well... Don't worry about it, anyway. Just... Is it alright if my mate Wayne stays over tonight? He just wants to sleep over. He's just coming over to...
Wayne, sleep?
Yeah, he just stays over. I'm not gay or anything, it's just... I don't fancy him, I'm not...
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Yes, you bloody well do.
What, just because I want my mate Wayne to sleep over and I've started doing ballet, that turns me into a gay man, does it? You haven't seen my Village People album lying around?
You're asking for a hiding.
Just joking, just having a laugh. Just didn't mean... I've had enough in here, I'm going out.
No, from now on you stay here, you look after your nana. Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, there it is. What's the question?
Powerful. I'd like to know what was the name of the actor that Carl was taking the role of. Does that make sense? That's not
Yeah.
grammatically quite right, but
Well,
anyway,
that's
yeah.
fine.
Who was the young lad that Carl was taking the place of there? Name of the actor, not the character.
And just email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
You can win yourself.
You gotta be fast.
You can win yourself a VHS edition of Billy Elliot worth £4.99 price. I'm going to leave the sticker on, which has actually got the price on.
Brilliant.
I'll leave that on so you know just what you've got in your hand.
Foo Fighters. No, it's not. Yes, it is.
Feeder.
Feeder.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing now. Why have we got to stop? Sorry, we just had an argument then. Why have we got to stop at 5-2?
It's just the football's on, isn't it? So
So what can we do? We do a link here, and then we can play.
we can talk here. We'll play a song. Do a little.
What about the
chat.
competition? We got to announce the competition.
Well, Steve.
Well, I can tell you right now that there's only 2 people, it would appear, that are interested in a VHS copy of Billy Elliot. That's how mediocre that gift and that prize is, Carl. I don't know if you want to learn from that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give this one to MJ McKay, who has correctly identified that you were taking the part of Jamie Bell
That's
in
it.
Billy Elliot. So, well done.
Right, just forward me that, and I'll
Sort that out.
get the video.
What film are you doing next week?
Don't know. I've got been out and bought a couple. Got Silence of the Lambs I can do something with.
Right.
Bought Fight Club, but it's a bit difficult. You know, always open to suggestions and that, so... You got any favourite films?
What about the 1930s film Freaks?
Oh. Can't wait. I cannot wait for your...
Brilliant, that'd be good.
Excited about that.
Why don't you do a film review of that next week as well?
Yeah, well, it depends. If the fella, you know, if anyone's got it, just send it in. I'll send it you back once I've watched it. So that'd be good. Next week we'll do,
Oh, please tell me there's gonna be more Cheapest Chimps.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
We'll see what the press say. We'll see what the press say about that.
Looking forward to that.
Do you know, like, you're always having a go at my ideas?
Yeah.
Little,
Yeah.
you know, Cheapest Chimps you've put down. Again, I normally come up with these because you don't come up with a competition idea.
Sure. Yeah.
He's done him again.
Yeah.
Well, Cheapest Chimps, mine, you're dissing it.
Yep.
Rockbusters, one of the most successful competitions ever.
And he means in the world, not just
yeah.
on XFM.
Yeah.
You put that down.
Yep.
Right. What are you thinking about this, right? I was watching Comic Relief last night. Came up with an idea. Right. You get Jono.
Okay. Jono Coleman, yeah.
Say Vanessa Feltz. You know, maybe, you know, Dawn French, because she'd be around for that. And then get them all in a room for Comic Relief. And what you do, put a cake in front of them.
Yeah.
Right? And like, you don't feed them. And like, they're going, oh, I'd love a bit of that cake. Right? It's called Famine Academy.
Right.
Right? Whilst they lose pounds, they get pounds.
Right.
What do you think?
Play a record, Carl.
Well...
I love it,
Again.
I love it, Carl.
Yeah, again.
I love it.
Oh, that's them Red Hot Chili Peppers, and they can't stop. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. You're listening to XFM 104.9. Coming through today, it's noisy again out there.
It's a nightmare.
A lot of people marching up and down.
What's that about?
Well, from what I can work out, there's hundreds of them, millions of them, and they're all shouting really loudly. What do we want? Peace. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Peace. I want to go, shush.
Yeah.
We all want a bit of peace on a Saturday.
Yes.
Keep it down.
Please, I can barely hear myself think.
I know. And he's not listening. Tony's not listening. He can't hear from there.
You may as well give up. He's not listening. There was 1 million of you last time. It didn't do anything.
Hey, but Steve, there's no attitude. You know what? I couldn't find Boy George's War is Stupid, so here's a bit of Dylan. Bob Dylan. The times, they are a-changing.
The thing is, Rick, it makes me wonder if, the times, are they changing? I mean, it seems to me that life's pretty much the same as it was way back in the 60s when Bob Dylan wrote that song.
Got any idea what you're talking about?
No idea whatsoever,
You
Rick.
don't really know about politics, do you?
Know anything about it. Don't even read the papers. Got no interest, really.
Yeah.
Not particularly informed. My life's cushy. Got won some awards and stuff. Doesn't bother me. So,
on a serious note, though, it is a bit worrying. I want somebody to put my... Do I have to get gas masks or something?
No, because there are guys out there in Leicester Square today wearing novelty hats. If they don't sort this war out, then no one can.
Okay, well, I'm not talking about it anymore.
You would worry about it.
I would worry about it.
Well, you, maybe Steve.
Why?
Sort of people who are successful are worrying about it more than other people. Just because, well, they've got more to lose, haven't they?
Right.
No, do you know what I mean? You see, like, Bruce Willis on the telly saying, oh, it's not good, is it? And it's because he's got a big house and loads of cars. If you live, you know, on a council estate, it's like, well, if it gets bombed, probably doing us all a favour, we'll get nice new blocks of flats to live in and that. It happened with Manchester, with the bomb that happened, and they bombed the Arndale Centre. Did us a favour. Got a nice new Marks and Spencers and that.
So hold on, this puts a whole new twist to the argument when people say bombing the world's poorest countries is wrong. Because I remember when the Afghan problem was on, people were saying bombing the world's poorest country is wrong, but it's like home improvement, according to you, then.
Yeah. Because they've got a brand new B&Q, have they, over now? And they're popping down there every Sunday.
Anyway, let's not go on about it, because...
Well, think what you're saying.
Yeah, I know.
My family was killed, but look, a carpet warehouse.
Yeah.
Do you know, I think, you know, people don't want to hear about this today from us. They want to hear, you know, the new features, the songs of phrase.
What song's a phrase?
It's the feature we started last week, where we take clips of songs, we make up a phrase from the show.
I mean, a famous phrase, last week's world famous phrase was, "There's this airy Chinese kid." Yeah. You'll remember.
Yes.
Well, it was called Crosswords last week, but Phil emailed in a good suggestion and said call it Songs of Phrase.
Brilliant. Songs of Phrase. Songs of Phrase. Perfect.
So
are we still going with Cheapest Chimps?
We're persevering with that, aren't we?
Got some Cheapest Chimps lined up. We'll be doing that before 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Great.
Again, who else can say that?
So good. So for the next 2 hours, everyone should just bury their head in the sand, ignore the world's problems, and enjoy features such as Cheapest Chimps and Songs of Phrase.
And a bit of cheering breaks.
Oh, class.
Oh. Trying to stop suddenly in Italy. TB. Cheering breaks. It's like a rockbuster, Carl.
They were the good old days.
I know, yeah. Painkiller. On XFM 104.9. But look, Rockbusters is gone. Forget Rockbusters. Long live Songs of Phrase. Over to you, Carl.
Alright, well...
You know Rockbusters was one of the things they were protesting about last time. that was why I just had to listen to them. They just kept stopping me in the street as I was trying to get to the tube. You've got to stop Rockbusters, it's run out of steam, they said, and I'm glad.
That's why they always do it on a Saturday.
Yeah.
They make their way to Leicester Square for 3 o'clock.
Yeah. Right.
Songs of Phrase. What it is.
Songs of Phrase.
We took a phrase from the show last week. It was, "There's this airy Chinese kid." Right? Today, we're going back to the good old line of, about you never see an old man eating a Twix.
Sure.
Right? How long is that?
No, you'll never see an old man eating a Twix.
You'll never see an old man eating a Twix.
It's not as many as you think, though. It's not that many.
Well, how is it not that many?
Right, well, first of all, anyway, don't worry about that. I think there's about 5, I think. Hang on a minute.
Oh, God. Why do we leave him alone to do this,
I don't understand.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, I tell you what, we were flying then.
6 different songs.
6 different songs?
That's a lot to get, Carl.
But what happened is, I couldn't find a song with Twix, so we've changed the chocolate.
Oh, this is rubbish. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. No, you've got to be punished. We're not doing this. Do it next
no,
one.
you'll like it.
No, shut up, Carl. No, no, we're
He's
not
put a
doing
lot
it.
of effort in.
So what?
You're right.
He's got to do it right. He's got to do it right. There's too many. We said too many. It's not, he's changed the thing. It's not a one-off phrase. It's ridiculous.
No,
it's absolutely pointless.
Rick, if only his parents had spoken like that to him sometimes in the past, maybe we wouldn't be having this discussion
You're not doing it.
Come on.
No! We're not doing it. Steve, what do you think?
I'll tell you, we've got the prizes, but I'm not even going to bother I'm not even going to bother. I think we'll just share them out amongst, homeless.
Absolutely. No. There's troubles in the world, and I'm not going to let you faff around doing nonsense like that. It's ridiculous.
Well, let's do it for this week.
Let's play a beautiful song. What do you think?
I'd love to hear a great song.
Yeah, the times, they are changing, we've said that. Look at
Rick,
Mother Nature on the Run. Look at Mother Nature on the Run, Steve.
Yeah.
Play it.
So we're not doing...
No.
It's your own fault.
Neil Young.
Beautiful.
After the Gold Rush, one of the most beautiful, poignant songs ever, I
Great
think.
lyrics in that. Look at Mother Nature on the Run in the 1970s. Forget the 1970s, Rick. I'm beginning to wonder if that's just as truthful nowadays in the year 2003.
I've told you before, you've got no idea, you don't know anything about the world or politics, so
I don't know why you persist.
I don't know why I keep saying it myself, Rick. I'm a political incompetent. I don't know why I keep spouting on with this drivel.
Right.
It's The Guardian, I think, that's doing it to me. It's all second-hand information. I just read it in there, and I just
so
think
it was a good idea to get on
exactly. I keep thinking I can pass it off.
You don't really care, do you, about anything in the world, really, as long as it affects you?
I haven't exactly.
Yeah.
Unless I'm personally affected by these things, I don't care less.
Well, I'm the same. Now, Carl, the big question, as we know at the moment, is whether we're going to let you do Songs of Phrase or not.
Rick, I should tell you now, there has been a flood of... Oh, no, there hasn't. Sorry, I was thinking there'd been a flood of emails, but it was people agreeing with you, Rick.
I know Tony Blair has been trying to get through.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just checking the emails now. There's absolutely nothing supporting you, Carl.
So no one gives a side either way about
No, well, that's not
then.
fair. There were a couple of phone calls, weren't there? One was the guy saying you should. I think the other one was you, Carl. Was it phoning from the kitchen?
Can we do it? Can we do it? Right.
No.
If you don't like it, we won't do it next week. But I've made it.
I don't know why you did that. We thought of lots of stuff that you could do. You chose one where you have to have 10 words and 6 songs to choose. You haven't got Twix. I don't know what you've substituted Twix for.
Okay, I mean, I've got to say now, I'm going to sit on the fence, so I'm quite intrigued.
Okay, right. What have you substituted Twix for?
Well, I can't tell you.
Of course you can.
No, I can't because people have to listen to it and work out.
All right, let's just hear it. Let's hear it then.
No. They know what they have to know what the word is. They have to tell what the song is or the artist.
I prefer just to play it.
No, you've got to tell them what it is because they might not even know what word they're looking for.
Let's hear him out, Rick.
Right.
Please,
Right.
democracy. That's what we're fighting for. Come on.
Right, you turn them up.
Right. Okay, I've got the headphones on. Go on then.
Right.
Okay, so hang on. The phrase originally was
you never see an old man eating a Twix.
right, and we're trying to identify a number of songs which you've used to make up that phrase.
And you email in xfm.co.uk/Ricky with as many as you can get, and whoever gets the most right can win
It's
some
so
stuff.
complicated. This is so
not.
complicated.
Right, here we go.
I'm baffled by the email address. I couldn't figure
What's
that
the
out.
email address again?
xfm.co.uk/Ricky.
Right.
Right?
And there's some link on there, is there? That
Yeah, that you just press and it comes through. Or isn't that? Right, here we go then, right?
And you'll never see an old man
Well, I missed a little bit at the end. Let's hear it again.
Mars, ba ba ba.
Let's hear it again.
and you'll never see an old man
Oh no.
Oh God. Okay. Right, we'd say the prizes, Steve.
Right, so how many songs were there? Do we know?
I think there was 6.
You think there was 6?
And you'll never see an old man eat. Oh, it might be 5.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
Anyway, why not email in the answers and how many there were, and you might be in with a chance of winning on DVD the original series of Citizen Smith with Robert Lindsay. That was good. Paul Whitehouse's Happiness, the first series of that on DVD. We've also got a couple of CDs here. The Best of Britpop, Live Forever, Oasis, Blur, Radiohead, and all the rest of them on there.
Right.
Supergrass's current album as well.
That's
I
all right.
think it's the current album. Yeah, it is. And
Okay.
less convinced by this one. If I tell you that some of the artists include Delamitri and Deacon Blue, then I know you'll be rushing out later, Rick, to buy this. Scotland Rocks. A compilation of...
Is Wet 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 on there?
let's see.
What about Biss? What happened to Biss?
Let me see, I'm not gonna... I tell you, it doesn't... I mean, we've got Gun on there.
Oh, yeah.
We've got...
Oh, baby, lately.
Aztec Camera.
Yeah.
Big Country, obviously.
Proclaimer's not on there.
Wait a minute, where's Runrig? There they are. There they are. And, obviously Rafferty, Baker Street, do-do-do-do-do-do.
Brilliant.
So that's definitely worth, entering for, surely.
So xfm.co.uk/Ricky. Play it one more time,
Yeah.
just in... Right.
and you'll never see an old man
Class. Pure class. Well done. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright,
Play
let's go to
Oasis. Stop Crying Your Heart Out on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl's competition is in full swing now. I just will remind you, when playing songs of phrase and trying to guess the songs and artists, what do you want, songs or artists?
I think songs is
Yeah.
better.
Alright.
But that's ambiguous, isn't it, what a song title is? Whereas
Yeah, I
if you
think
know
it should
the
be
artist,
artists, definitely.
maybe the artist cleans it up really. Yeah?
Yeah.
Should we do artists?
Artists.
Okay, you know if they know what it is, because that'd stop any ambiguity, won't it? And don't worry if you haven't got all of them, because the winner last week didn't have all of them, but it's the closest one. I understand when you're trying to guess what's in Karl's mind, you can only get so close.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He wants us to bring in Darren Brown. He go, because he won't be able to read my mind. And
Yeah.
I think he's right.
I think he might
I
be.
think he's the one person that could outwit Darren Brown.
Yeah.
Now, moving on, Karl. As we have to.
Should we just play it very quickly? Just play again.
Just if
Karl's
you're in case you
competition?
want to join in. Go on then, one more time. Here it is, songs of phrase.
and you'll never see an old man
Because you have to get, you know, it is very difficult. So, you know, song or artist, we give points if you're close to any of those, and we'll choose a winner. So, you know, do.
And what do points mean? Crap prizes.
XFM.
xfm.co.uk /Ricky.
Ricky. Right. Now, we got people to send in, a little thing for you last week, didn't we? The film Freaks. You got a few sent in. You watched it, did you?
Yeah.
Now, I should just point out that the film Freaks, for those that don't know, was a movie that was released, I think, well, actually, it was originally made in about 1932, something like that, and then it was delayed. It was banned for many years, because it did, in actual fact, feature, for want of a better phrase, real-life freaks.
Yeah.
Bearded ladies being one of the more kind of familiar ones.
There's a guy without arms and legs.
There's all sorts. And, it was actually it's quite a tender film, isn't it? And actually portrays them as a kind of dysfunctional family. It's not exploitative in that sense, but, what do you make of it, Carl?
Well, you were watching it for the freaks, weren't you?
Yeah. I mean, I wish it does take a while to get onto it.
What do you mean?
Well, straight away I was disappointed, right? Because at the start, like, you put it in, it's like, oh, brilliant. Here we go, you know, I said to Suzanne, we'll watch this, we'll have a good night.
Yeah. Have a romantic night.
That's it, her birthday. Yeah. You've got your gloves, now we're gonna watch some freaks.
So, put it on, and it starts off, and it's like, you know, the following film, and you think, ooh, it's like following films rated 15, which means, you know, might contain scenes of violence, bad language, and sex.
Yeah.
Mention nothing about pinheads.
Right.
Right. So, I thought they missed a trick there.
Yeah.
To be honest. Right. So I thought, well, let's carry on watching it.
And what exactly is a pinhead?
Oh, if you've seen it, you'd know.
Okay.
Right, so, not the best thing in it either. So imagine that.
Okay, so you're watching it?
So, sat there, I think, right, something comes on, and the little fella's on there, the little fella we were talking about, the Pillow Man.
Right. Is it the best thing in it?
Now, what's the Pillow Man again?
He's a fella who, years ago, he's got no arms and legs.
Right. He's just a torso?
Just rolls, yeah. And, there's a scene where you see him sort of rolling a cigarette up, just using his mouth, and it's like, he lights it and stuff. And that's weird. And then, what else is on it?
Smoking stench of growth.
And then there's a little fella on it, who is fed up, because he looks 5, but he's actually 34.
Right.
Right? But there's a woman who is 42 and looked 8. So they both had the opposite thing. They were both really fed up. And I kind of thought that shows that, you know, you always want what someone else has got.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in a way, there's a story there, in that.
No, you've described the same there.
No, it was like...
No, they both, you just said, they both looked young, but they are actually both older.
No. This was like a little man...
Yeah. Who was 35.
Who was 35.
And looked 8.
Yeah.
And so did she.
No, well, the other way round then.
What? So she was an 8-year-old that looked 35?
Yeah. So, oh, maybe not then.
Anyway. No.
But that wasn't that weird. I kind of thought it's a slow start on that.
Yeah.
And then,
It's not a difficult film to follow.
No.
Yeah, but I wasn't really listening to what it's all about, just looking at what they had, and they had like a fella who's running about on just...
They had like he was shopping.
You know, they had a fella with no legs and he's running about on his hands, and sort of got about on a skateboard, talking to someone about it. They said that's how E.T. was done. There's actually a little fella in E.T.
Right.
Who's just half of, sort of half a body.
Is that true?
I've no idea. I've never heard that before.
Why haven't we heard that before?
I've never heard that before.
I don't think he would fit in E.T. Because he's got no... Because where's the head? He's got no neck, E.T. It's a skinny little thing. There's no human neck couldn't fit in that skinny little neck.
Well,
you sure it wasn't Kenny Baker up to his old tricks?
What are you talking about, Carl? There's a fella with no legs in E.T.
In E.T. they had two fellas, right? I think they had a little, a midget fella.
Right.
Who did it, and then I think he was off sick, and they were like, oh, you know, what else are we gonna do?
So they saw a guy on a skateboard going by.
And said, do you fancy some work?
Right.
And he's done it. I think someone told me, I mean, it might be wrong.
Exactly.
Might be wrong.
It might be, mightn't it? I mean, you've never been wrong before, so I don't know why you'd be wrong there. So what's the worst thing in it?
Now, it's intriguing to me because here's a film called Freaks, featuring real-life freaks, and you're sort of a bit nonplussed by it.
Just because it wasn't... Because it's built up. If you call a video Freaks, you've got to make sure that there's some good stuff on there.
Yeah.
What were you disappointed about? Was it that?
Because there was a few things on it, right? There was a woman who said she was half man, half woman, and it's like, well, you're not, are you? It was just like she had some makeup on, I thought, well, that's rubbish. And then there was a woman who could eat using her feet. That isn't that freaky. Do you know what I mean? If she's not hungry, she looks normal.
Yeah.
And that's when I was thinking... I mean, I'm not being... Right, Steve. You know I'm not being funny.
Oh, here we go.
No. But I'm just saying... if that woman wasn't eating and you were sat next to her in that film,
yeah,
I'd probably be sort of drawn to you more than her. I'm not. I know you hate me saying it, but there's no point sort of pretending. Do you know what I mean?
Oi, Muttley, what you sniggering about?
The fact that he's... Well, you mean there were things in it that were less... What are you saying?
I'm just saying...
Play a record. Seriously, I'll slap you. I'm gonna slap you live on air.
Yeah, but you always get...
Right, I'm slapping you live on air, I swear to God.
Alright, play a song then.
He's playing a song.
I'll play the song.
Keep the fader up. No, keep the fader up. Bruce Springsteen, Atlantic City from the album Nebraska.
So melancholy, that one. I love that one. Wow. So, Freaks then. All in all, not as amazing as you first hoped.
It was built up too much. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
Is that my fault for getting you excited? I just can't believe it. I hand you this thing on a plate.
I know, but... Yeah. And I'm not being out of order, Steve. I'm just being honest. We've always said that about this show. We only talk about stuff, you know.
Yeah.
You know, being honest and that.
Yeah, no, sure.
And I've always said the first time I saw you.
Sure, no, you've always been honest, and I've always been honest with you. I've always said that, you know, you've got the intelligence and insight of a gnat.
Yeah, but if I keep quiet, people don't know that.
Sure.
Alright,
incredibly, they do, Carl, because you look stupid as well.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
No, but Carl was being nice then. You don't.
I'm just saying, you're a good bloke, and now I've got to know you.
Sure.
Yeah. The first time was weird when I saw you.
No, leave it. Don't just try to interrupt. Just to let it go.
No, I'm just saying. The first time, it was weird, and that, and then weeks go by.
Sure.
And the weird thing is, I kind of thought maybe he's not that odd looking.
Yeah.
And then you went to LA for 3 weeks.
Sure.
And when you came back, it was like the first time again.
Right. Okay.
No, I'm just.
Okay. Wait. No. Stop it now. Everyone, stop it now.
No, but I just think I'm a little bit more consistent because I've always thought you were an idiot.
I don't want this. Don't argue. It was just okay.
No, I just you know what I mean. My opinion has never changed. I've always thought you're an idiot.
No, it's just all nice. Let's look. Peace.
Shut up, fatso.
Peace, not war.
He's just such a stirrer, isn't he?
No,
he loves it. I don't think I didn't see you whispering behind the microphone about what to say to Carl.
Look what I've just drawn, Carl, subconsciously.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I drew a picture of him, it's going to be on the website.
It's not been on the website.
No, it's going to be. I drew a little cartoon of him. No, not yours, I drew one of Carl. Right, okay. What are we talking about? That was a
So yeah, no, the Freaks thing is over and done with. It was alright if you want to get it out on video.
Sure.
You know, it's probably worth a look. Yeah. There's a couple of things on there that get you thinking more, you know, it's like how their life is and stuff, do you know what I mean? How it's affected, and like the little pillow man, or the fella who's got half of his body missing.
Yeah.
You know, it's stuff like that you think, oh.
But what's the one that was disappointing? You said it was a half man, half woman.
Yeah, I don't quite understand that one.
Do you mean hermaphrodite or half? I can't remember it. Do you mean it was one sort of like it had bits of both?
It was just like half a face done in makeup and long hair, then on the other side it had it shaved.
I love the idea that you go to this circus and there's people in there that have been sort of persecuted all their life, and they think, well, maybe I can make some money, and then you boo them because they're not freakish enough. I love the idea they go, boo, you're not freakish enough, boo. Oh, you've got bits of legs, boo. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But there was, I mean, talking about that, you see, why did they join the circus and that? Because there are things they can do. I was telling you in the week that I was reading something on some news website about some sort of, Olympic-style games where they're going to see, like, disabled people against able-bodied.
Right. Let's be careful here, shall we?
No, I'm just saying, though.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So there is other things. It doesn't mean just because you haven't got legs you can't do other stuff.
Yeah.
And in this race, there's, like, disabled people who are beating able-bodied people.
Yeah.
I mean,
what?
Would you go and see that? I don't know.
But, I mean, it depends. What do you mean? They're beating them? At what?
He didn't state what the little races were and that.
Little races. Does that
can't help himself.
No, little races. Oh look, there's the disabled with their little races.
Yeah, they're having another little race.
Oh dear.
Would you go? Would you go and watch that?
Do you remember when Jimmy thought that Para-Olympic stood for Paraplegic Olympics?
The Paralympics?
Yeah, it means parallel Olympics.
Yeah.
He thought it meant paraplegic Olympics. That would be a good site, wouldn't it? Mainly blow football. Right. Okay. So, what was that thing I told you to look up in the week?
You were saying, I don't believe you. We're going on about, we were talking about the half man, half woman.
Yeah.
And you were saying...
You can get a sex change on the NHS, just to see what you say about that. Did you look it up?
I didn't, because I think I was wasting my time. I don't think you
I'm
can
giving
have that
all
done.
these things. Little play
Interesting
records
stuff.
are annoying me now.
you wouldn't do that. You do,
You've
the other thing we were
annoyed
talking about.
Steve. You've annoyed Steve on air.
I'm sorry about that.
Well, it's just too late, Carl.
But we were talking about other stuff as well. I mean, you know, talking about operations and that. You were saying, you know, can you have a sex change done on the NHS and that?
No, you can.
Well, you say you can. I think that's a bit... It's not that important to have done, I don't think.
Well, it depends if you desperately want it. It depends if you feel that you're born actually a different sex.
Right. And then you went on to say there's other things that are done. Get this, Steve. Someone, if the cat's got a bad liver...
Kidney.
Alright. Bad kidney. Can have it done for £5,000.
Yeah, you can have a kidney operation.
But what's wrong with that? If you've got £5,000 you want to waste it on a cat, then fine.
Get another one. We went through loads of cats, I've told you before. As a kid, we got through loads. It's not worth it. And there's no cat that is that amazing that you'd go, gonna miss that one, it's never gonna be the same. Cause
what do you mean? What would it have to be able to do to be worth it? Well, it's normally to do with people's affection for their cat. They've had the pet for many years. What do you mean? It should be able to juggle? Or do impressions, and that's why it's worth £5,000?
Supposing there was a fella, right? He feels he was born a woman. He's not happy, right? He doesn't want this he's got a knob and a couple of testicles that he does not want, right? He wants a lovely pair of tits and a minge, right? And he finds out that he gets a cut price. He gets, you know, a cut price sort of operation, a dodgy backstreet transsexual maker, right? £5,000, knockdown price £5,000. It's done with a blunt knife and some chloroform, right? But
why have you got to have it all done?
What? You mean just like have the knob trimmed and wear a bra?
Well, yeah. I mean, are you saying if you have it all done, you get some sort of offer if you give them something?
No. I was being flippant. I'm saying I was trying to get down to £5,000. Supposing there was a fellow who had £5,000 to give away, right? Some old woman with her cat is going to die. Or some fella who wants his knob chopped off and a lovely pair of tits put on. Who would you give the £5,000 to?
So, hang on a minute. So, there's a fella who wants to be a woman.
Yeah.
And there's a woman who's got an ill cat.
Yeah.
Ooh. You see, I'd be annoyed. Is this £5,000? Is this my savings, or...?
No, just you get given £5,000, and you go, but you've got to give it to a charity of your choice. And it's got to be one of them. You give them £5,000.
I'll tell you what I'd do.
What?
I'd find out what the cat looks like, get a replacement, right? Say it's had the op. She's loving it, thinking it's happy again.
Yeah.
Give the fella the money.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, so you're basically saying that you'd rather have the bloke have his knob cut off and stuff than
I'd have to have a chat with him first and say, what's your problem? And say, why do you need this doing? And
I think they go through that. I think they go to counselling and live with a woman for
like a second opinion thing. I'd just be saying, right, are you sure?
Yeah.
But £5,000 on a cat, even, it can only be for people who have got loads of money, right? And it's like, well, £5,000, it's nothing.
Well, I think this debate will rage on. Should we play a record and come back to this? Think about it, though.
Yeah. Bit of White Stripes.
Placebo. Bitter End on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl, you're looking all flustered and confused again.
Still sort of don't get it.
What don't you get?
Well, that's a long list, Rick.
Yeah.
The, you know, if you have your...
knob cut off.
Yeah.
It's because they feel like they're actually born a woman, and they're not living right. They can't live properly with all these things, you know. Well, I mean, there are people that are genetically the other gender. They've just grown, you know. There was one woman, actually, who was a scientist researching it and found out genetically she was a man. She had, Y chromosomes, etc. But this is something different. This is both psychological
everything else.
Sometimes it's that thing again, isn't it? You can't always have, you know, what you want. It's like, I'd like to have hair. Do you know what I mean?
But it's a bit easier. You can wear a wig. You can't go round, really. Well, you can put on, you know, false breasts and tuck it in.
That's just it as well, isn't it, you see? You say, you know, you could have the operation done and that, and yeah, you might sort of feel as free as a woman down below and that, but at the end of the day, you still look like a fella.
Yeah, here's a bra and a split tennis ball. No. They'd be just like Auntie Nora.
Do you know what I mean, though?
Well, yeah, but it's about their outward appearance as well and how they feel publicly. Don't forget, a transsexual, it's not a transvestite. This isn't just a builder in a dress. They have hormone replacement as well, so they get estrogen, so they and electrolysis, so they have, you know, their face looks different, they don't go bald, they're slighter, they you know what I mean? They're the real thing. A transsexual is now the real thing. Biologically and politically and...
But they'll still be a man, won't they?
Well, it'd be embarrassing if they don't tell their new partner and there's pictures of them, you know, down the pub when they were 24, but you probably sort of get over that, don't you? They go, "Who's the fella with the beard drinking the yard of ale?" That was me.
Well, interesting story. Probably should have told you this before the honeymoon.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, you can have all that done, right? There's stuff, you know, you could have your bits done, right? You can have, like, false teeth, but you know that when you see an old person with a good set of teeth, it's like, well, they're false. There's no way you've got good teeth like that if you were brought up in, like, the 30s.
But what would you do if Suzanne said, "Look, I've got a terrible secret," and she showed you a picture of this kid, this little boy, growing up, you know, playing football, and then the pictures stop at 20, just before you met her, and, she goes, and she shows you a nice pair of bollocks in a jar, she goes, "They were mine."
Well, first thing is he'd take back the gloves you bought her last week.
Would you go, "Oh, I can't go out with you now"? Or would you say, "Well, you're the same person"? I've blown his mind.
Yeah, I
really have freaked him out there.
She is into sport.
Eh? Should we play a record while you give her a call?
No, but look, what I'm saying is right, it doesn't matter what you have done. We can wrap this up here, because I've got it sorted, right?
Okay.
Doesn't matter what you have done, at the end of the day, it's obvious that you've had it done. If you're a fella and you've been changed to a woman, I could spot you, right? If...
You can't, though.
I tell you what, I was at Suzanne's mum and dad's, right, up north last week, and I went to the off-licence, right? Yeah. And I went in there, never seen this fella before, right? Soon as I walk in, I eye him up behind the counter, I go, "Alright, mate."
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
I notice he's got a wig on, right?
Yeah.
Now, it was... I kind of looked and I thought, yeah, it's a wig, whatever. And then I thought, I wonder if it is. And as I got to the till, I said, "How much is that?" He said, you know, 50 pence. I said, "Great." And as he turned to the till...
Were you buying Suzanne a gift?
As he turned to the till and he did that sort of angle, you got the profile, you see the bit sticking out of the back, you go, "That's a wig."
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. And it's like a little, it just, the last inch just lifts away from the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, everybody who goes in that shop will probably know him as having a wig and that. It keeps him happy, but everybody knows. So, what I'm saying is, it's like...
But could I just say, transsexuals put in a little bit more effort than a fella who's plonked a rug on top and held it down with some duct tape. Do you know what I mean? You know, the only giveaway often with a transsexual is the big hands. They can't do anything about that. That's the only thing, you know.
Right,
but I mean, transvestites are different, you know, they are builders in the dress. You go in a supermarket, you turn around, you see a 6-foot woman, huge head, you go, "Alright, love." Do you know what I mean? You know, down below, she's packing more than us 3 put together.
That's what I'm saying.
But, you know what I mean, that's one thing. If Eddie Izzard, right, you're meeting Eddie Izzard, right, who likes to pop on a dress now and again, right, what's the politics with that? Do you go, because he walks in, he's all in evening gown, and he goes, "Alright, Carl," and you go, "Alright, Eddie," and it's in a busy pub, and you go, "Oh, why is he," and you go, do you say, "Do you want a pint of bitter?" and slap him on the back like you would a mate, or do you go, "That's lovely, that's a lovely dress"? Do you know what I mean? What do you do? What do you do with a transvestite?
Would you compliment a transvestite
on their lovely dress?
If he was wearing a nice dress? In the same way that you would if Suzanne was wearing a nice
Probably in a different way. I'd probably say, "That dress, you know, looks nice. Be even nicer on a woman.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
So you try and change the way they think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd want to teach them a lesson.
Yeah.
Sure.
In a way.
Yeah.
It's just, it's one of them things I can't get my head around, to be honest, right? I can handle hairy Chinese kids.
Yeah.
Is it true to say that you've never been able to handle a transvestite?
So I'm just going to add that to the list then, Carl, of things you can't figure out. It's now 4 volumes. Snoop Doggy Dogg, obviously, in the classic What's My Name?
Yes. XFM 104.9. We've done that, so that's good. We've done...
So we've solved the whole transvestism issue.
Yeah, let me just check. We've done hairy Chinese kids, people having their knobs cut off. I think we've
touched on the war as well. We've sorted that out.
We've done freaks, haven't we? We've done freaks with no arms and legs, haven't we?
Take that.
Just don't think there's any other areas of possible offence.
Have we done Forrest Gump in a wheelie bin? Well, we touched on your Auntie Nora, but haven't mentioned her fighting for 5 minutes, or her showing you her clunge. Hold on, let me see. I don't know if I think we might have...
I'd definitely like to hear the word clunge more often.
Yeah.
On this show.
Her Mary.
Anyway, leave that.
Yeah. Clunge Mary.
I'm still none the wiser on that, but... we'll leave it.
I love the fact you are such a you're such an old man, aren't you? You're such a reactionary old man, the way you talk. You are the sort of bloke, I imagine you and your father stood in a pub, if a man came in a dress, oi, you're a bloke in a dress, take it off.
We were talking last week we were talking about things that you can, sort of say and do when you're sort of like 40. I thought another one, nod to a policeman.
Yep. Definitely.
They're on the beat, they're going along, you're going your duty, you're going on, yeah, I know you're alright, I know you're alright.
Yeah.
Never mind these youngsters shouting at you and knocking your cap off.
Exactly.
It's that you can nod at a
If you're 40, you can nod at a copper, because it's like going, I know what you're up to, it's a difficult job, and you're doing it well.
Yeah, I respect you now, I didn't when I was young, I know what I was thinking of, well done, mate.
Well, I like the one you mentioned last week, you're now of an age where a van driver might ask you to back him into a parking space.
Yeah, well, you don't feel, you go, get out of the way.
He wouldn't even consider
No, get out of the way. Yeah.
If you're under 30, you don't... It's like I was thinking the other day, if I was in a pub with my dad and, say, his mates, and they're all sort of 40 or 50, there is not one of them that would turn to me first with a pint of bitter and go, taste that, see if is that off?
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't want your opinion.
They would never consider me. My opinion is the last one they're interested in.
Yeah.
Is that off?
Things you can do over, I think, maybe 50. Wear a flat cap and not like a prat.
Yeah.
You know, you're wearing it because your head's
statement.
cold.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're wearing it because your head's cold. You're 50 years old, flat cap, fine.
Yeah, or just wear a suit and tie without having to go to an event or a convention.
Just
or
get
to
up
work.
and pop on a little old suit and tie.
Just pop on a suit and tie.
I tell you what, I love seeing old boys in a suit on Sunday.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've got shiny shoes and they're 75.
I've got
and they go down the pub and I think it's brilliant.
I got photographs of one of my late grandfathers, he must have been in his 60s, on the beach, wearing a suit. Wearing a suit on the beach. I think I got a feeling he's even got a knotted handkerchief and a full 3-piece suit.
That's great.
It's brilliant.
It's a decency all time.
My grandfather, in my mind, was always wearing a suit. I never saw him not wearing a suit. I think he wore a suit to bed. I can't imagine him taking that suit off. It was always...
Maybe it was an all-in-one, pull-on one.
But he didn't... I mean, what the weird thing is, though, it wasn't like he worked in a bank all his life. I think he was a builder. And then he retired and thought, it's time I should start wearing a suit.
I know. Oh, I love it. That's just, you know what I mean? It's because they've got to do something then. They've got to get up and they make an effort and they're, they're still part of the world. As opposed to me already just walking around in my pants.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like there's no point in getting dressed, I'm not going out.
Yeah.
Or everything's got an elasticated waistband.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't even consider a pair of trousers.
It's slip-on shoes, pull-on trousers,
I have never seen a man with more Velcro in his closet. That has got to be for you the best time-saving device ever. Velcro.
It's great. Just me and a baby girl, a dry white baby. I went to the awards.
Has your tuxedo got Velcro?
Well, I was still talking like that. The award show. I went home. When did we stay there? We went to 12 or something. Anyway, I went home and I was watching telly at the end, right? And I was eating. I had these sesame seeds because I was hungry. I had a few, and in the end, at the bottom of this jar of sesame seeds, right? Or there's tiny little seeds, but I didn't want to waste them, so I sort of poured them into my mouth and sort of like ate them like millet, like a budgie binging.
Yeah.
I went to bed, got up the next day. I thought, oh, I felt a bit sweaty. I had a resolve, and there was loads of seeds still in my chest.
What, in the hair on your chest?
Yeah. I had to pick them. It took me ages to pick them out before I had a bath. So they must have stayed there all night, but not with the, you know, with the cheese and alcohol that was coming through my pores. These seeds had, they started growing. I'd have to mow my chest. Oh dear.
Your girlfriend's a lucky woman.
Sesame seed chest. What we got, Carl?
Oh, do you remember we were also talking about, names you cannot call kids now? It's like there are certain names.
I was thinking that, like, there's great old blokes' names, but they have to be a baby ones.
Yeah, but, yeah.
I name this child Alf.
You can.
Stan.
There are sort of these names which you just never name a child now. I mean, Karl, frankly, is.
Oh, that's alright.
That is quite trendy.
But Sid.
Alf Sid. You would never name a child Sid. Stan.
Bert. I name this child Bert.
Did I ever tell you about my Uncle Alf?
No.
He wasn't a proper uncle, right? But it was just one of me dad's mates and that. And he was getting on a bit. He must have been about, 60, which is pretty old when you're younger and that. And he was the same. He used to always wear a suit and that. But it was never in good nick. It was always like a rough suit, but it doesn't matter. He's still, making half the effort and that.
Yeah.
And he used to sleep in a dinghy. Right, Uncle Alf.
What? In his house?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, in a flat, he's in like a little bed sit. Because he only had a little bed sit, and he was into boats and stuff. So he had this
Two birds with one stone.
Had this little dinghy, had a little flat, thought, well, it's tight space and that. He had a dinghy as a bed, and he had 2 tellies, right? He had 2 tellies, one that the sound worked on, the other one only the vision worked. So if you wanted to watch a programme...
You had to turn them both on.
Put them both on, like BBC One, turned one up, and watched the other one.
Wow. That's extraordinary.
From his dinghy?
Sat in his dinghy.
That is brilliant.
It was an inflatable dinghy, it wasn't like a wooden...
Yeah, an inflatable one, yeah, big inflatable
Did you ever go around and visit him?
Yeah, now and again.
Was it weird seeing a 60-year-old bloke in a suit, in a dinghy, inside, watching 2 tellies?
It's weird at the time, I thought.
Which of the TVs stopped working properly first? I mean, did he... let's say the sound went on one of them.
Yeah.
Did he carry on watching the other one, hoping that the other one was fine? Or
no, he went and got a new telly, and then the vision went on that, and he went, oh no. He went, hold on though.
Wait a minute.
I've got another telly in the wardrobe that I haven't used because it must have been like that.
Yeah.
Wow, he sounds brilliant. Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still around, yeah. I haven't seen him for years, but he used to,
was he married?
I think that's what happened. I think his wife passed away and that's when he had all this, he had a boat. And it's like, oh, where am I going to put it in a bed sit? And it was like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sleep in that. So, yeah.
I wonder if he ever brought any women back. Just the idea of bringing them back, getting down to it. Shall we move into the bedroom?
Ahoy! Oh, that is fantastic. Missy Elliott, Gossip Folks on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Now I know we're not meant to mention the adverts, and I'm not slagging off the advert. It's that National Lottery advert with the little Welsh fella saying, your money from the National Lottery goes towards Mountain Rescue. And put it out there, we've saved a lot of people. Now, that's fine, that's great, well done. What I'm annoyed at is why those people are allowed to go up the mountain in the first place.
Yeah.
Don't go up there, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
You're at your own risk.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's ridiculous. Just posh, beardy twats climbing mountains and sticking a flag up there. Why climb? I don't want you to. I don't want you to.
Am I paying, is there any point, Rick, where I am paying for people to get rescued from mountains?
I'm not sure. I think the lottery's doing it now.
Fine. Because I'll tell you, if it was my money, I would be livid.
Well, that's the point, isn't it? I mean...
you should have to take out insurance if you want to climb up a mountain.
You should pay for it.
Yeah.
If we save you, it'll cost a lot of money. You owe you. I'll be paying it back for the rest of your life. That's the risk.
Yeah.
Not falling to your death.
Exactly.
But never being able to pay it. They're all posh and rich anyway.
Yeah.
But it's just like, a cat gets stuck up a tree and the farmer come out because it doesn't know any better. Imagine if that was a bloke. I'm stuck up again. Stop going up there!
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying again though, it's only a cat, so leave it up there. Get another one.
Absolutely. And there's the skeleton of Tiddles. I couldn't be bothered to go and get a ladder.
No, but it's the same. A few weeks ago, everyone was making a fuss over that sheep. That was the first cloned sheep.
Yeah.
And it died. Clone another one.
Oh, wow.
If only you could do the same with mountaineers.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks the same, the beard's the same, they all look like Brian Blessed.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. Did I ever tell you about the time that my father, when I was younger, we went on holiday, my dad he'd bought a little boat, little sort of wooden boat, make a 3-seater, and he and a friend of his went out with me in the boat. I was maybe 12 or 13. Went out and we sort of I think we were on we had the little motor, outboard motor, chugging out. We just thought we thought this was real seafaring stuff.
Brilliant.
We'd lost sight of the beach because we'd gone round a corner of like a mountain, or like a, what do you call it, like a cliff. And so we were just round the corner, and there was this buoy, just floating in the water. Not a boy, but you know, like a buoy. And, very tricky to explain that on the radio. It's the same word, isn't it? Boy, a boy, and a boy.
Yeah.
And so we float past that and we're just chugging along. The motor conks out. Oh, I can't believe it. We have to row back in. So they're rowing away, I'm just sat there. And we noticed that every time we sort of think we've got past this buoy, it just seems to be back where it started again. And we realised that the tide is taking us to, but not taking us out, taking us towards these rocks. And we've got ravaged rocks. And we were a bit pretty scared, because I can't swim very well, or I couldn't at the time. I think my dad had maybe bought, you know, he didn't, I'll be honest with you, I inherited a lot of things from him, one of which was his carefulness with money. just the one life jacket.
How deep was the water?
Which I seem to remember he tore off my back and put on himself. So the water's pretty down. I mean, you know, I'm not saying we would have necessarily died, but it was pretty scary, because the boat, you know, we were going to go crashing into these rocks and stuff. It was getting pretty unnerving. And so they're sort of rowing like mad, trying to we're just not making any progress. And we're beginning to think that this might be the end. And, this boat, this kind of ferry boat comes chugging by doing tours. Ching, 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 ching. And it comes by, and my dad goes, oh, wow. We were going, brilliant, they can help us, they'll throw us a rope, they'll tow us back in. He was going, you've got to be careful though, hang on, because according to the laws of the sea, if he rescues us, Steve, he can claim my boat. The laws of the sea mean he can claim my boat as salvage.
I love the idea of
that's like a reward. That's
doing that.
But what I like is, his 12-year-old son might die, he's thinking about the boat.
I know, but also, the other thing, of course, is that I like the idea of this ferry master going,
yeah.
The boat be mine now, exactly. Or take your son.
Yeah.
Let me think about it.
I need a new bed. That'll be just right. King size.
Oh dear, that's lovely.
So we've done a lot of stuff today. We've covered.
We've done Arnott's Minge. We've done. Oh no, what else have we done? We've done Chop Your Bollocks Off for Free.
Yeah. We've done the operations for £5 which I'm not happy about.
Yeah. Leave the cat up there.
Spend money.
We've done most stuff. I think we've done a lot. We still haven't done Forrest Gump in a wheelie bin, but we can leave that till next week if you want.
Yeah. See, I still think there's something in the spending money in areas that it's not needed. Like, well, you know, the fella, if you haven't, you know, if you've only just tuned in, you've missed a debate about a fella who needs his tackle taken off.
A debate makes it sound like it was a bit more informed than it actually was.
Well, and I'm just, you know, all that time, that was probably half an hour ago, and I've still been thinking about other things that it would be good if more money could be ploughed into things to get them out there.
Like what?
Do you know what I mean? Well, I was looking, you know, I'm a fan of going on the web and that.
Sure.
And, there's inventions, right? We were talking about a few weeks ago, inventions that are out there, and there's some that, you know, are well known by famous people who have brought stuff out.
Do you know why we didn't go on with this? Because I remember saying to you about Einstein, who's thinks clever, you weren't impressed with it. I said Einstein, and you went, this is a quote, you went Einstein, well, yeah. Now, I've never needed, you got it wrong, you went, I've never needed MC² in my life, but the fella who made the video recorder, I watch one a week.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
Brilliant.
And it's the fact that everybody's got one good idea in them, right? Like Newton said about the apple.
Yeah.
I did Rockbusters.
Yeah.
Right? And there was this thing that was on the website.
So they shouldn't be spending money on investigating, sort of medical procedures that might help people. They should be spending it on what, Carl?
Well, I found this thing, right, Ricky? Brilliant.
Yeah.
What it was, little sort of mops.
What?
Little mops, like little mop heads.
Like floor mops?
Yeah.
Right.
Fit them on your cat feet. If you've got a cat... right, if you've got a little cat...
Yeah.
Put these little things on the feet, and there was a picture of one, just like walking around the kitchen, like that. looking a bit like that.
Nick,
right?
you can't do looking like that on the radio.
No, but it's just looking a bit sort of fed up, but he didn't really know what was going on. Walking around, you see like the woman of the house sat in the background having a cup of tea. The cat's there walking about on the kitchen lino, mopping the floor. That's what I put my money into.
Can we get shares in this?
No, that's an invention.
How good is that?
Yeah.
Can we get shares in that?
It's good though, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, I'll market that. If so, I'll, yeah. That's amazing. I just like the idea of people struggling with their cat to get, hold on though, wait a minute.
Then,
what if it had a bad kidney?
Ah, well then it's worth paying $5,000.
I suppose a year, because it would cost a cleaner that, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, there's loads of other things out there that gets loads of praise.
Of course, you can stick a brush in its head and make it go down the toilet. It'll be genius, Carl.
No, but there's loads... you see, you say that, if Newton came up with it, you'd be loving it. And there'd be loads of them out there, and everything, right? That's what annoys me.
Imagine Newton coming up with that. Imagine Newton coming up with that, Carl. Think of it.
Well, there's other things that gets loads of praise. Penicillin. Everyone, who came up with that? Who came up with that?
Fleming, was it?
Yeah, so discovered it on a...
Right, I'm 30. Don't think I've ever used it. I've had Nurofen and Benylin. Right, so there's one thing. What's something else I was talking to you about?
Oh, God, you like video. Okay, so video recording...
Telescope was another thing you seem to think's important.
Well, no, you asked me about great inventors. I know something. So I said Alexander Graham Bell, the telephone, everything from that, linked from that. John Logie Baird, television, Marconi, the radio. I said Galileo, the I was naming you stuff. It wasn't that. I was just saying that I think those things are more important than Rockbusters. I think they're better ideas.
Telescope, even telescope.
Carl, play a record because. There's a website, I must try and find it during this record. It's got loads of inventions, I think you're gonna love it. Vicious from Lou Reed. Always a joy.
Yeah. XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
Carl, someone pointed me in the direction of this website, and basically, I swear to God, these are real inventions, okay, that real inventors have, applied for patents for, you know, so that they own the copyright.
Why don't I come up with one, a real one,
yeah,
and then you do that
well, I
one,
think some of these...
and Carl has to vote on which think's the better invention.
I think some of these, Carl, you are going to be absolutely excited by. If you love the little mops that go on cats' feet, I think you'll be excited by some of these. Okay, well, I'll throw one up to start with. Have you got one there ready? Yeah.
The X-ray machine.
Alright.
Oh.
So we've got the X-ray machine on the one side.
X-ray machine, Carl. Think of that.
So, you've come to me with this idea.
It goes through a painting because it doesn't need light. It excites, it can, you know, well, you know what an X-ray machine can do.
So what's happening is, right, I'm sort of head of some business, I've got a load of money.
Yeah.
You're coming to me with an idea.
Yeah.
And Steve's coming with me to an idea. I've got, say, $5,000 and I've
come with you, I said, look, I can do transrectal operation. You go, I'm not interested. I said, my cat needs a kidney operation. You go, I'm not interested. Right? I've come with you with an X-ray. Meanwhile, Steve walks in with...
Well, firstly, I'm going to offer you, this is, patent 5571247. You've got the X-ray machine. I'm going to come to you with the self-containing enclosure for protection from killer bees.
Tell me more.
Alright, well, it's like...
Tell me more!
A self-containing enclosure for protection from killer bees comprising an enclosure formed of a flexible, transparent plastic material, basically that will protect us from any killer bees that might be in the area. Useful?
Yeah.
Don't decide yet. Okay, I'll come up with another one. Refrigeration.
Refrigeration. The combination toy dog and vacuum cleaner. Let me read a bit more, don't judge yet. A toy dog closely resembling a real dog and having a hollow interior in which is mounted a vacuum cleaner having a suction hose which is retractable from the tail end of the dog. This enables vacuuming a dog after a haircut and grooming without causing fear to the dog. Because it thinks another dog is in the room.
Sorry, this is a decoy dog to make the dog not realise it's being vacuumed, thinking it's making a friend.
There's a picture of it.
Carl.
Do you see what we're talking about there? That's a dog that looks... It's a fake dog.
Also, do you see that why the cat with the mops is on Steve's side, and why sort of X-rays, refrigeration, things that are on my side, and Newton's and MC squared, as you
Can you see the difference in these can you see the pattern emerging and the difference?
Yeah, but you see, to me,
which are you impressed by? Are you impressed by the sanitary appliance for birds? I'll have a look at it. It's if you've got a domestic bird, maybe a budgerigar or something, but you're tired of it crapping everywhere, these are very tiny nappies that go on a
That is real, isn't it?
Look, there's a picture, there's a diagram
Can I put the microwave up against that one? I know I need the big guns to come out now.
Oh, what are you thinking? I know you're
Budgie nappies or the microwave?
It's weird because...
Carl, are you tired of petting your dog or cat? I bet you are. That's why you need this patent pet petter. It is an arm on a piece of wood that will go up and down and stroke and pet your dog for you if you've not got time to do it.
Well, I can only put up interferon, the cancer cure, against that one.
Exactly.
Yeah. You see, a lot of these things...
These are all genuine inventions?
Yeah. And if the time was right, we'd say, get 'em made. Do you know what I mean? If there was a bad swarm in London, I'd be saying, get the B-man on.
Yeah.
Right?
What, lose the X-ray machines, I don't care about broken bones for now.
Well, at that moment in time, that would be more important than... Do you know what I mean? We know people have been stung, we don't need to look inside them.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? It's all about... It's like the telescope now isn't impressive.
Sure.
If you want to see something in the distance, get on the transport and go and see it. Do you know what I mean? You don't need to look at things in the distance.
Right,
sure. Whereas budgerigars are shitting and pissing all over people's homes.
Could we put these... I'll tell you what, Carl. So it's looking at supernova and trying to find out more about the universe. Its conception and its eventual end.
Forget that, Rick, because I've got the cheese-filtered cigarette.
Oh, now tell me more.
This is a cigarette where the filter is actually made from cheese. Apparently cheese acts as a very good filter for tobacco, so the smoke passes through the cheese, thus you will induce a kind of smoky cheese.
And also, smoking, you know, might make you a little bit peckish, and you can just nibble that, so there's no dog end lying around the pavement. Or budgie shit. It's a cleaner place, and you haven't been stung.
Brilliant. Right, now listen, so that's that done.
Yeah.
We've done that as well.
Yeah.
We're running out of time. We've got like 5 minutes left. Winner for Songs of Phrase.
Alright, give us the answers.
Right. We did this at the start. We haven't even got time for the film thing today.
Oh.
But we'll do that next week. Songs of Phrase. It was a phrase you never see an old man eating a Twix.
I love the fact that we haven't got time. Like, we've had such important stuff and it's been so jam-packed and interesting. Not that it's been drivel with gaps we could have filled much better.
Yeah.
Don't look at it like that, like,
What, with his film quiz? Come on.
Oh, dear.
So, Songs of Phrase. You never see an old man eating a Twix. We had to change it to Mars Bar. Here's what we had. Jerry and the Pacemakers. Echo and the Bunnymen.
David Bowie.
And the Beach Boys finished off.
Oh, what do you mean I thought that one was? What do you mean? Who's the winner? Oh, it doesn't matter. You gotta give the answer. Who was that one you didn't know it was us?
It was Neil Young, wasn't it?
Jim Crochet, is it? Old Man River, it's called. Jim Crochet.
Old Man River?
Yeah.
Jim Crochet sang Old Man River? I don't think so. What was it?
Who cares?
Right.
Well, people... I can't believe this. Jim...
Old Man River, it was.
Let's give the prize to...
Jim Crochet wouldn't have sung Old Man River.
Well, let's give the...
Paul Robeson.
Let's give the prize to Mitchell Sterling, who has got some of the answers right.
On Xfm 104.9.
How will we playing that great quiz again next week?
Next week. Ricky Gervais with it on XFM Sports. And if you want to send an email, it's rickygervais.com. Or check out the website on XFM's All the Cons. Good night, 3:30. Coming up is Harold Levine and Stoopy Nouns. Placebo, The Bitter End on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me is both Stephen Merchant and Karl, the K-Man, Pilkington.
Oh.
So, you've already got that. That's safe. It's only 4 minutes past. You've had Placebo and you've got us three. So...
You're definitely going home with that.
Yeah,
whatever
that's
happens.
safe. That's on its way to the hospice.
Exactly. You've banked that.
Yeah. Now, do you want to gamble all that to go on and listen for another 2 hours? Well, you could walk away now and you're up.
Yeah, you're up. You're already up.
Right, that's brilliant.
You have not wasted any time.
Do you want to gamble that against another 2 hours? It might be shoddy, it might go downhill, but it might get even better, Carl. What do you say they do? Listen for another 2 hours?
Yeah.
See, we shouldn't have done that.
We shouldn't have asked Carl, because a lot of them now are already taking what they've got. And what they've got is great, Rick. What they've got is lovely. They're loving that. They're going to enjoy that.
We have got monkey news. We've got cheapest chimps. That's not the same thing. How many radio stations have got 2 ape-related simian features?
Rick, can I point out now, a lot of people are making that mistake. A lot of people are thinking that monkey news is exactly the same as cheapest chimps.
It's not.
Let's keep that clear.
It's not. It's in the same ballpark, but it's not the same.
There are apes, they're involved.
They're involved, yeah. We've also got some great music, yeah. We've got an amusing sketch about a fly. And Mystique are dropping in.
Let's hope the Mystique ladies are coming in. Singing
I want to kick off with a song that is, you know, you've got like half a dozen posing songs that when you're sort of like between 14 and 18, they were the ones you'd put on to get ready to go out, or just pose around, or be that pop star, or think you're on stage, or whatever, or in the video. Yeah. And embarrassingly, I dug this out, and I remembered I used to post this like a mother when I was about 14, right? This is Street Life by Roxy Music. You used to do...
Mine was Oops Upside Your Head.
Yeah.
It was just me on the floor in my bedroom. One day there'll be other people in this imaginary pose.
yeah. Elbows going everywhere, knocking over vases.
Yeah. But then I remember later, it was Black Lace's Superman, which is something similar. Do you remember that? That was brilliant.
Wow.
Spray, ski, da-ding,
If you've, out there in Radioland got any funny jokes, then call in.
Email them in, because we need some.
Oh. Street Life, Roxy Music, off the Stranded album. That's what I used to jump around to.
What would you have been wearing while you were listening to that?
Well, probably, Brutus Gold jeans.
Classy.
Or green flash, pumps.
Sure. Any socks?
I would have had socks, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have probably been wearing the shirt my mum got me from Tesco's, which was again a Brutus shirt, and it had women in bikinis eating bananas on a chaise longue.
Of course it did. What, lots of small ones, or just one big one?
Lots of little small ones, yeah. So you know, so that was that.
A trilby?
I didn't wear a trilby.
Did you have a toy with the trilby?
I remember when I went on holiday about that time, and I was about 14. My older brother had this leather jacket, and I was on the beach, just you know, in my shorts and that, and I went to get an ice cream or something. I said, "Can I borrow a jacket?" And I put his jacket on, and I was frozen on the beach thinking, they are all looking at me, because I look so good. And I also had a straw Stetson. And I really thought, yeah, I'm turning into quite a man.
Yes, I'm quite a catch.
Yeah. Just thinking they're looking at going, who's that dude? Is he American? Hold on, has he just come from, some sort of rodeo?
Wait a minute, I'm in a bikini, and I like bananas. I could be the woman for him.
Oh dear.
What was that? Didn't you have a t-shirt or jacket or something you wore to university that was pretty classy? Didn't it have like some foul language on it or something? What was that?
Yeah, I had, when I was 18, right, the birthday before I went to, university, got 2 sweatshirts, one black, one red, had bullshit on them. Just on the proud. Right, and the red one, all my clothes, the first wash, everything was pink. All my white shirts, all my white socks, of course, because I just put it in, I didn't know.
Yeah.
So I was a man at university with all pink clothes except for a rather nice red, sweatshirt with bullshit on it. Again, turning into quite a man.
Quite the man. Was that pre or post the time you washed your clothes by getting in the bath? And
that was that was the second year when I was had to go and digs at our Halls residence, so I had a bath, and you had to sort of like pay for a bath, you know, so I thought 2 birds with 1 stone. I got in the bath with all my white shirts, so I was going through sort of, you know, wearing a white shirt and tie, that sort of, you know, David Sylvian sort of fine for everything, and Daz. And I just wriggled around in it, washed myself. It's quite a good exfoliant. I didn't do it again because it was sort of not good for the skin, Daz.
Quite sore, is it, around the sort of groins and regions?
Yeah. So there you go. Roxy Music and Street Life. Carl,
thoughts?
I just was working out time, really, just We've got. Well, last week we had a lot of stuff that we didn't manage to cram in,
which was good.
So I'm just looking at. We have got Cheap as Chimps coming. Songs of Phrase.
Oh, we forgot about
some
that.
stuff.
Why don't we kick off with that so we don't forget it?
What?
Cheap as Chimps or Songs of Phrase or the film thing. We didn't get the film done yesterday.
We've also got a new feature, Cheeky Freak of the Week.
Yeah.
Incidentally, I should just point out now that someone has, Ashley Phillips has emailed in, because obviously with Songs of Phrase, what Karl does, for those that have not heard it, he takes a phrase that you might hear commonly on the show, and then he uses various songs.
There's this hairy Chinese kid.
Was the one
you never see an old bloke eating a Mars bar.
And, yeah, as I say, he uses different chunks of songs, and he makes up that phrase. And, so he has made some suggestions here, Karl, because he thinks that the more common Karl, you're an idiot, fool, etc., perhaps a little overheard, he'd like to, maybe hear Karl, pause, I don't know where to start, which is a common one from Ricky. Karl, which bit of that do you actually think is true? And then there's the regular dialogue between the three of us. Karl, well, you know, it could happen. Me, sure. Ricky, no, Karl, it could never happen. Not now, not ever. You're an idiot, play a record. So maybe some of those you could use next time.
Yeah. Well, will we get it going then for today?
Yeah.
This week we're. Do you remember the story about my auntie having wind for 5 minutes? Yeah.
Your auntie, was it your auntie Nora?
Auntie Nora. She was on a lot of medication and stuff.
Sure.
And I think that's a side effect that comes with it. So yeah, she had wind for 5 minutes. So I thought we'd dig that one out. A classic line. Me auntie had wind for 5 minutes.
Okay.
So I've got loads of songs here.
How many is that?
Me auntie had wind for 5 minutes. 7 tracks.
Oh,
that's tricky.
Why do you learn?
Okay, so you need to identify, if you can be bothered, the artists.
Yeah,
that's what we're after, isn't it?
All right.
Okay. Let's
wind.
Alright, we'll play it a few times.
Just remember, as many as you can get, because the winner would probably be, you know, who gets 5 or something. So don't worry if there's a couple you can't get, because you could still probably win.
Here we go again.
Wind.
It is good. Can I just, what's the email address?
It's, well, if they go to xfm.co.uk/Ricky, they can just send them through there and
they
that.
can send them through that way.
Right.
Which of these is the prize bag?
Yeah, don't be getting them mixed up.
That's the one, is it, Karl? Yeah. Alright, so let's see what hot treats you could win. As I get them out, Karl, do you want to play it once more?
Yep.
Wind.
I recognise all of them except one.
Yeah.
Right, let me see what we've got here. Once again, Karl, you excelled yourself with an arbitrary collection of DVDs.
Just hanging around, were they?
Just hanging around. Again, I'm always interested to know which of our XFM listeners has tastes as broad as this.
Go on.
We've got the recent BBC adaptation of The Hound of the Baskervilles.
Brilliant.
Okay, fair enough. We've got, what's this? Is this this is something involving Air. The band Air. I think it's a single at best.
Yeah.
This is probably worth having. This is the current Flaming Lips album, so you've excelled yourself there, actually, Karl. That's not bad. An XFM mouse mat. They're as common as muck.
Oh, hold on. You can't give away that mouse mat. It's a piece of foam.
Now, I was going to dismiss the oddball sci-fi movie K-Pax featuring Kevin Spacey and Jeff Bridges, but Karl, is it signed by Kevin Spacey?
It's signed, yeah. It's an actual. So win that and put it on eBay for £4.50.
And. Man alive.
What is that?
Just look at their faces.
No, Karl! Don't give that. No one wants that unless it's ironic.
Series 1 and 2 on DVD of popular northern-based sitcom Bread.
Buy it, sell it. The game's getting hard because someone's dealing you a losing card. They all had a go. All the actors had a line on that song. Oh.
Play the clips again.
Play the clips again. They really want to win it now.
Here we go.
Wind.
I can't believe this hasn't been done before.
It's extraordinary.
Because most of our ideas have. Verve, Lucky Man on XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
The emails, I should point out, aren't flooding in on the
No, but it always takes time when they go through the website.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they'll be arriving in a bit.
Do you want to play it once more for those that have just joined us?
Alright then.
Brilliant.
My auntie had wind for 5 minutes.
Brilliant. Genius.
Name the artist. Rick, I sometimes get off at the Tube at Tottenham Court Road if I want to look at the record shops before I come into XFM, and I always cut through Chinatown.
Oh yeah.
And every time I come to Chinatown, the same thought always strikes me. I always feel like I want to just gather all the little locals, all the little Chinese fellas, just gather them round and just go, guys, in what way is this a town?
It's not, is
This is not, at best, what you've got here is a novelty street.
Yeah, Gerrard Street is not a town,
No,
mate.
it's not a town. You've had this
Just
for like
because you put a
100
little
years, it's not
pagoda.
expanding.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't just call it Chinatown and claim it's a town.
If I was them though and you do it, I go, what are you talking about? It is a town, it is a town,
What,
it's our
in what
town.
way?
It is a town, it's our town, we got all lots of stuff.
Where's your church? Where's your mayor?
We got a betting shop.
Not enough?
It is.
See, all you've got here is restaurants.
No.
That's not a town.
No. Got a little supermarket with snacks.
What does it sell?
Snacks.
Specifically, I would imagine crackers.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want to buy a dragon? Do you want to buy an ornamental dragon?
If I wanted to buy one, this is where I would.
Do you want to buy a gold dragon?
Is it made of gold?
No, it's made of plastic, but it's sprayed gold. Do you want to buy that?
It's not a town.
It is a town.
It's not a town.
Yeah.
And it annoys me, because when I first came to London, I genuinely thought Chinatown was going to be this amazing, what they've got there is...
You'd hear a gong and...
Yeah,
every time you went in there,
and there'd be rickshaws, and people walking on those little sort of wooden shoes. You know those ones? They're brilliant, they are. Just comping around in them. But nothing, it's nothing,
Hats?
it's just... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It just reminds me of, have you ever been to any of those sort of museums? You tend to have them up north, where they've got like, you sort of sit in a little cart and it sort of rides you through kind of, I don't know, it might be,
Newcastle,
the Victorian era.
Yeah. Can I have half a pound of those sweets, please?
Exactly.
Of course you can.
If there was some animatronic then, it would just be an exhibit.
Yeah. Their concession to being 100 years ago is that there's some scales in the shop and there's a horse outside.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah.
The traditional sounds and smells of old England.
And the voice of going, of course, there was no television.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Brilliant, yeah. Welcome to... Chinatown. So it's not, it's a good point.
Is that a piece of traditional music? Ding, 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 ding. Is that some traditional Chinese music, or is that music that someone in this country wrote? Thinking it sounded like Chinese music.
I think it was the, was it the Vapors, wasn't it?
Oh, is that what it is? That? That's the music, but are you sure they didn't take that from some other source?
it's that pentatonic scale, isn't it? What is it called? It's the black notes on the piano.
Right, that's the one I can play along with EastEnders.
Yeah.
Do you know what I don't get with it?
Go on.
Chinatown.
Yeah, Chinatown, because I always walk through it on the way to work. A couple of things annoy me. First of all, I think it's bad business, just because... If you've got a Chinese restaurant, put it somewhere where there isn't any others.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but it's also a community. They're not just a theme park for other people.
I remember going out one night with Suzanne and some friends, and you got there and there's so much choice. It's that dilemma of, oh, forget it.
Well, not really. Specifically, do you fancy Chinese?
Well, no, because why don't you go to the one with the dead ducks hanging in the window? That's my favourite.
That's the other thing as well. It's like... Normally you put your good stuff in the window. If that's what's in the window.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the other thing that annoys me, walking through it today, there's always lard on the floor.
What, in the street?
In the street.
It is, honestly. I'm scared I'm going to slip over. It's because all the restaurants and that. But why is it? Oh, that's another point.
Well, it's not oozing out of the restaurants.
No, but why is it? Why is it?
I don't know what they do.
Careful. Listen, no, but why is
That's why they used to wear those little wooden shoes.
No, okay, we've got...
No, but the thing is as well, they try and wash it with water, which doesn't work with lard, and it's like oil.
Famously, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Even I know that.
Yeah, you've got to scrub it.
So...
You think
sorted that out.
Yeah.
You think they'd know, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, thanks for your thoughts on Chinatown, Carl.
Right, I'm going to play this thing again, because it is a bit slow today, the email.
Yeah. Oh, because it's too hard.
It's not too hard, there's just clips of songs. What are the artists? Email in. Xfm.co.uk.
He's getting annoyed because he put the work in and no one... He's getting annoyed! Oh!
Oh.
Remember, I think Kevin Spacey and the signed K-Pax DVD is probably the only incentive to try and have a go at that one.
Just think you could win by getting one of them.
Exactly. They're coming in now. Okay, this is electronic. Electronic, getting away with it.
Definitely. Do you reckon we'll get away with it? You see, you've worried me now.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's worried me.
My apologies if you're offended at all by my reference to those little wooden shoes. That's not going to help, Rick. That Chinese women used to wear. I don't know if they still wear them.
We've only had one complaint, haven't we? We got from the Sonys, that one about talking about the swan's penis, but.
Yeah.
You know. Things about complaints is that people complain all the time. It's whether it's upheld, because it goes from authority, and then they have to go, oh yeah, look, that was in poor taste, or pre-watershed, or
some of the things you said on TV, though, you must have been stung.
Well, obviously, I've only had one upheld, one serious slap on the wrist for something I said. But
what was he saying? Can you repeat it?
Well, I can. Yeah, I was talking about, and it was a true story. I was talking about this little old man. His daughter was taken to home because he used to fry up bacon and rub it round to get the dog to lick them.
Right. And you got a complaint?
Yeah.
And that was it? That's why you got a complaint?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Well, he said it on Songs of Praise.
They said it was in poor taste, I suppose.
What other complaints?
The biggest complaint ever on TV, the most complaints ever for anything on TV, was the showing of The Last Temptation of Christ.
Yeah.
Do you know the second? Yeah, the second was I think Anne Robinson, put in the Welsh into room 101.
What, 'cause she didn't like him and that?
Yeah, she just said, well, they're going in the,
She said it slightly more eloquently than that.
Yes, yeah.
I can the people or the place?
I don't know.
I think it was the place and therefore the people.
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah?
No, well, my mum and dad have sort of moved from Manchester. They've retired now in Wales.
Oh, yeah.
And it is.
Look at his face, turning his nose up.
No, but it is pretty depressing. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of them places that it's like you go back in time and that when you go there. I mean, maybe the major cities there, maybe Cardiff is alright.
What, even coming from Manchester, it's like going back in time?
It's just, it's like one of them places that it feels like every day is Sunday. Do you know what I mean? It's just depressing and grey and slate
Lots
everywhere.
of vicars walking around going, I'm late.
Well, yeah, it is the sort of attitude they have, right? This is true, because my mum and dad live there and that, right? And they love it, it's alright, it's an healthy place to go when you get older and that. But, this is why they don't move on in Wales.
Well, I'd just like to make another sorry to any Welsh people listening, we're not saying you don't move on. Carl is.
No, but...
Sorry about the little Chinese shoes again.
The thing is, it's good that, in a way, that they do that, and they don't want to be, like, rushing about everywhere, because the way London isn't that great either, is it? Because it's totally opposite here, right? Yeah. So I'm not having a go. It is a bit dull. I think even people who live there will agree with me, right? But, like, one of the shops that my mum and dad use, right, it's only a little sort of villagey type shop, they can't be bothered staying open for hours and hours, right? Because there's not enough people who use the shop.
Yeah.
So what you do is, they get used to what you buy, and
they leave it out.
They put it in a phone box outside.
They put it in a phone box?
Yeah.
So it doesn't get wet.
So my dad's loving that.
Well,
Once he found that out, it was like, brilliant.
But how is that a bad thing? That's brilliant.
Well, it's not for other people, it is for my dad, because he's picking up all sorts of stuff.
Oh, no, he's not!
Oh, yeah.
He's not nicking other people's shopping.
Well, it's not like nicking, is it? Because it's not theirs yet.
Oh! And you've stitched him up on radio.
Well, of course, because they're going to think, who is there in town with a Manc accent?
Who keeps making phone calls. And is getting fatter.
Yeah.
That's
You've stitched him
I
right
love
up
that.
there,
I
Carl.
love that your dad was excited when he found out.
Oh.
I can't believe that he's moved there. He's retired to this little village where it's based on trust and community, and he is abusing it. He's using his scally Manc ways.
Bloody hell, Lakers. There's no bread again.
There's old women going hungry.
Yeah.
Their cats aren't getting fed. And your father is just... I can't... That's obscene. That's obscene.
Oh, I think it's Die Thief.
That fella from Manchester.
I don't even think they've got Sky there yet, have they? They can't listen. They won't know what's...
I think you stitched him right up. I hope you have, actually. I hope he goes down for it. I hope he's hounded out of the community like Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
They should get burning torches, go up to the
Set fire
mansion.
to his cottage.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right, well...
He's out of the choir.
Yeah.
Forget about tomorrow. Feeder. Right. Listener, I'm talking to you now. Have you seen these posters around with me and Steve on it, right? It's embarrassing, right? We were mucking around at a photo session, and XFM wanted to do some posters. We couldn't be bothered to do them again, so we let him have this one. Irony comes back to haunt you, and it looks like I think I'm Simon Temple or something, and Steve's alright. But we think that Karl should be in it.
Definitely.
Karl doesn't want to be in it, but it looks like everyone listens to this show for Karl's, basically, you know, innocent stupidity. And some great tracks.
Exactly.
They don't listen for us anymore, Steve. So I think it should be a campaign to get Karl on the poster.
Yeah. Well, I should point out that I think XFM are more than happy to have him on the poster.
So it's just him?
You don't want to be on there, do you?
There's no need for me to be on it.
Of course there is.
Why not?
I get so many emails here as I'm sat during the show reading them. So many emails saying, what does Karl look like?
Well,
I want pictures of Karl.
If you go to xfm.co.uk/Ricky, we've got those film bits on there. Those video mock-ups where I'm part of it, you can sort of...
That's not enough, Karl. People want to see your face. You're part of the show. You're an intrinsic part of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get you on the poster. Why?
It'll be too much on a poster. They can only take in so much.
What do you mean?
They can only take in so much?
Yeah, it's good with 2 people.
No.
It's enough.
So what do groups do then?
Well, they haven't...
It's like Ringo Starr is being left off the cover of Sgt. Pepper.
Yeah. Or Rutherford doesn't get in a look in with Genesis.
Exactly.
Well,
you know,
which would be outrageous.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Tony Banks, you can't be in this one.
Yeah.
It's just me and you will be very. You see, you look like the Collins,
yeah,
so you've got to be in
I
there.
don't photograph that well either.
You're joking. Is it because you look like a little cue ball because it just shines off the top?
But a lot of people as well. You should dispel the myth. A lot of people think for some reason that you're fat. A lot of people say to me, is he fat?
No, but that's because I haven't got much hair, so it looks like my head's big.
No, they haven't even seen you. They just think from listening to the show that you're fat.
That's because you're northern. They think you just eat chips and complain about the weather.
Well...
Complain about the south.
I just think you could answer a lot of your critics.
But then, you see, what I don't like about this world, a lot of people judge people on the way they look.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like you do.
If only more people thought like that, Steve.
But Karl, you judge people on the way they look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. But I couldn't with me, could I? Because I don't know what I look like.
What?
If I was listening to me on the radio, I wouldn't be able to say, oh, he's a, you know, and slag me off and that, because I don't know what I look like. And I quite like that. Do you know what I mean?
I've lost.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Just believe me, right? I'm right on this one. It's best if you leave it.
Well, we're not going to leave it. We're going to get you on the poster.
Yeah.
I mainly have to see myself on videotape this morning.
I showed him, you know, the animal show I did, the show.
Yes.
I'm doing a video, and I did behind-the-scenes footage, and I've got you've seen it, haven't you?
I feel a bit of Karl on there, isn't there? Yeah,
it's great. Yeah. It's lovely. He can't believe it. He said, is it playing slow? Because he's so slow, and I come into the office going, alright. That's how you talk.
On my head as well. I look like I'm looking into a spoon. I'm not happy with it.
I just think that if we're willing if Ricky's willing to use his celebrity profile for the sake of the show, I'm willing to look like you know, let's say a fairly handsome kind of cool customer. I think the very least, Karl, is that you appear on there as well. You could dress up smart.
Are you worried that you'll look the worst out of all 3 of us?
Who am I standing next to? Am I next to Steve? I'm fairly confident.
Yeah.
I like the way it's so predictable. You pull the string because you know what it is. It's not.
You pull the string.
What were we talking about before? I was to tell you, you know the most complaints ever, the Last Temptation of Christ.
I haven't seen it.
What's it? It's Scorsese, isn't it?
It's Martin Scorsese, and I've bought the film actually recently because I was intrigued to see it, but I've not actually watched it. But from what I understand, the reason that it was so outrageous is because it has a whole sequence which shows what it would be like if Jesus had lived his life and not martyred himself on the cross, but lived his life as a human being. Part of which is him having sex. And so I think that was chiefly what the outrage was, that it was showing this godly man to be, you know, as human as he was supposedly you know, because he's supposed to be human as well. So, so that's the reason. That was the reason that there was complaints there. I don't know. I haven't seen the film.
Well,
I can't say.
you see him, do you?
You see him having sex, I think, yes.
Although it is an actor, Carl.
Yeah, it's not actually Jesus Christ.
It's not the real. It's not the real Robert Powell.
No.
It's an actor playing Robert Powell.
It's that, you see, sex on films and all that, right? When I was growing up, I'd be watching. No, just saying an example of this, really, right? When I was growing up as a kid, and I'd be, you know, watching films with my dad, right? He'd really be enjoying a film, right? And then a sex scene would happen.
Right.
And he'd go...
On film?
Or
just behind you?
In the film, a sex scene would happen.
Your brother up to his old tricks again.
And he'd get up and go make a cup of tea. Right?
Right.
Typhoon? That he'd stolen from some sort of telephone box?
And, like, even recently, he thinks it ruins a film. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no need for it to happen, is there? Really?
Yes.
Why?
Sometimes it's warranted. If the film itself is
no, some films it isn't though. Some films it isn't.
Some films it's arbitrary.
I think the films that him and his dad watched together on Channel 5. Probably not. Is it only on Channel 5 in your house?
But let's put it. Yeah, if you're watching, you know, I don't know, a late night Friday night, you know,
from 1983.
Yeah, Illegal Briefs. A beautiful lawyer has to defend a man who may be a killer. She falls in love with him, but does she know a real man?
Oh dear.
You know what I mean, though.
Lest you forget, of course, that I...
Love Heat. With the bloke that is now in... Go on.
You know, of course, that according to the Internet Movie Database, I once appeared in one of those films, in the film Killer Image, a Canadian film, I believe, from 1989. According to that computer...
it's all wrong, isn't it?
It's all wrong.
It's all wrong.
Of course it is, yeah. Apparently I was in that, and I played the role of Kirk.
Was it a porn thing?
No, I think it's just an erotic thriller.
Oh, right.
That I suppose
you only had a very small part, though, didn't you?
Indeed.
Yeah.
But no, do you know what I mean? Sometimes you don't need to go that far. Say, like in this Jesus programme, right?
Film.
What's it called?
The Last Temptation of Christ.
Jesus, look, talking. You know what? What's his name? Is it Ralph in The Simpsons?
Yes.
I drawed a kitty cat. It's like talking to that.
Yeah.
No, but right, this temptation thing, right?
Do you know, often we don't get that many complaints on this show. We don't get very many complaints. And I think that's either because there's no listeners, or B, it's because most people agree with Carl, and that terrifies me.
Or they let him off, because it's like, you know, you can plead insanity, you can go mental and kill a few people, but they go, oh, he's a bit backwards.
No, but was it because, like, they're saying that he was having it away? Or is it because you saw it? What got the complaints?
The complaint was the very suggestion. It
was a blasphemous thing, not the fact that you saw an actor's knob.
So what about if they just cut it down a bit and you like saw the little stable door closing?
It wasn't the baby Jesus having sex. It was the grown man.
The stable door shutting.
No, but do you know what
the nativity scene?
Oh, that is brilliant.
The wise men saying, I can't believe we brought myrrh, we should have brought condoms.
No, yeah. There's 2 for 1 offering, Boots.
Yeah, I don't know what we were thinking. With frankincense.
It's just that it's always awkward.
Should we apologise now to the Christian church as well? Sorry, the little Chinese fellas, little Welsh fellas, and the little Christian fellas.
We haven't said anything wrong.
No.
It's like, you see, when I was growing up...
Stable door. I love the idea that in Carl's world, he was born in a stable, just thought, well, I love this place. Yeah. I'm just going to stay here the rest of my days.
This is good here. Oh, brilliant.
But when I was watching telly with my mum and dad, I mean, it still happens now, right? My dad will sort of go, oh, ruined. Good film ruined. Right, if some sex scene happens.
But what are we talking about sex scene? Are we talking about kissing, or are we talking about penetration and looking at the camera? Going, are you enjoying this, Pilkingtons? What are we talking about? What is sort of extreme levels are we talking about?
Right, last time I was down there, right?
Yeah.
What was it? Meet Joe Black.
Meet Joe Black.
Meet Joe Black is a terrible film. Yeah.
Right. There was a good film, and then you know it's going to happen because like the music comes in. Brad Pitt's keeping quiet. A woman's eyeing him up.
Sure.
So my mum. I love that. My mum's worked it out already, and she's going. Anything on the other side, love?
She knows. She knows
it's something's.
So you could be enjoying a film, and you can be an hour and 10 in, and then some spidey senses of one of them can go. Should we turn it over? And the other one goes, yeah, right.
Are you sure it's not them protecting you from scenes of sex? So that what they're thinking is, what if Carl gets the idea to have sex?
Yeah.
That could lead to procreation. We don't want any more like him.
Yeah.
We've got to end the line here.
You sure it's not the doctor? Keep calling out, going. You are keeping away from
exactly.
women, aren't you?
He must never find out.
Are you
how
sure
it's
they're not
done.
embarrassed because they're watching a sex scene with their son?
It happens every time, right? There's two things that my mum does, right? It's that, if there's sex scene on the telly, she'll go, you know, anything on the other side, love? And the other thing she always says, if ever there's anything on the telly with Elvis in it,
Yeah.
she goes, oh, I like him, right? And we all know, we sat there, we know what she's going to say next.
Yeah.
So you don't even bother saying why, right? And she goes, he likes fat, ugly people.
He what?
He liked fat, ugly people. He didn't always go for, like, the good-looking fans in the crowd.
What Elvis did?
Yeah.
Right.
That was always the thing, and
I'm sorry, no, hold on. I don't know what we're doing now with our lives, Steve. Right, wait a minute, right. So, your mum says two things, right? She either says...
Is there anything else on the other side?
Or, I like Elvis. There's a pause, because you know what she's going to say next. She says, he liked fat, ugly people. How often does this occur?
Well, because they've got, like, you know, Sky, there's a lot of those channels on. They're like the music channels. So Elvis always comes on. There's either an Elvis film, there's, like, you know, a classic hit by him on...
And she'll go, I like Elvis, he likes fat, ugly people. And what do you mean he liked fat, ugly people?
Is she a fat, ugly person?
Because there's that special Vegas show, isn't there, where he's dancing about, right? And he's got loads of scarves around his neck.
Towels.
Yeah. And, like, he always hands them down to the fat, ugly ones. Right. And I always say it's because they're the fat, you know, they've got a sweaty face because they can't, you know what I mean?
I don't know what world they live in.
I don't know how we've got onto this subject.
What sort of world are you got when you're watching his face? And what do you mean fat, ugly ones? You mean they're in the front, they're sweating a lot because they're a bit chubby?
So she thinks, you know, it's giving them a towel because
but
it's like...
he's really going, wipe your face, you're putting me off, you
Yeah.
fat cow. Stop sweating near me.
There's another one.
What?
So, hairy Chinese kids.
Yeah.
Jesus.
We haven't slagged off hairy Chinese kids. We slagged off Chinese. We didn't slag anyone off. We just said they really haven't got a town as such, and they wear shoes. What did we say?
Yeah, little wooden shoes.
And what did the
I just don't know how we got onto Elvis and big fat ugly women. I don't know I don't know how we sidestepped from the Last Temptation of Christ.
Did you see that fat Girls and Feeders
Go
programme?
on a minute.
Eh?
What's Tom Petty first?
Oh, brilliant! It's a great song. Breakdown.
How many
Tom
other
Petty.
radio shows have talked about Last Temptation of Christ, Chinatown, fat ugly women?
More
Yeah.
than 60 minutes.
Exactly. Incredible. Sony Award winner.
Turing Breaks, Painkiller on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
I should point out now, Rick, that the general consensus from the listeners is that Karl should definitely be on the poster.
But I know
obviously.
that. I know.
There's an interesting email
Of course
here.
they should.
It
They're
just
right.
says, I'd love to see Karl on the poster, especially as I'm watching him on the webcam today, and wearing that shirt, doesn't he look like Charlie Brown? He looks just like Charlie Brown from the Peanuts cartoon.
Oh my god.
That's it. From now on, if anyone ever asks me what
He
Karl
does look like Charlie Brown. Oh, it's
like
great
him.
because Charlie Brown has got that thing. You've got less features than Morph. It's just a round head and there's human aspects. It's just the bare minimum. When I draw a cartoon of him, it's so easy.
Yeah.
Ah.
The thing is, right, if I go on the poster, this is what I'm worried about. Where do you go from there?
What do you mean?
Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Do you know, like before, you were talking about the complaint that a TV channel got about some fella putting bacon? Yeah?
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah, you were talking about a fella
I didn't
who-
put the bacon on, but yeah, I was talking about it here and
Yeah.
it got a complaint, yeah.
Right. Now, he had to do that to get a kick. Yeah?
Yeah.
Where do you go from there? And it's the same for me on a poster. Once they've seen me...
Yeah. And we get sued by the estate of Charles M. Schultz for using without copyright his most popular creation.
Oh,
it's just,
dear.
it's just that if people don't know, it keeps them interested. They don't need to
They're
know
not
what I'm
tuning in
like.
every week on the off chance that we'll...
They're wondering what you look like.
Yeah, but the ones who are, it just keeps them...
They won't let them down though when they see your picture. It won't let them down. It won't be a letdown.
It's exactly as it should be.
Anyway,
Yeah.
competition, yeah?
Right, let's get the answers. Let's get this out of the way. Songs of phrase.
Songs of phrase, just in case you just tuned in, it's a new feature we've been doing. We take songs and chop them up and that, and it's a phrase that has cropped up on the show a few times. This week we were going back to the classic "Me Auntie I'd win" for 5 minutes.
Going back to the classic.
And let's have a,
These are the
have a
answers, is
listen.
it? Okay.
Right. So what you had there is you had the knack
Yeah.
with my Sharona.
Uh-huh.
Auntie was some Manson track.
What? You don't even know what it was.
Auntie Everything, I think it's called, some album track, right? Then you had Bill Medley, Jennifer Warnes, I've Had the Time of My Life. You had Bob Dylan.
Wind.
Idiot Wind. Blowing in the Wind.
Oh, Blowing in the Wind, was it?
What was after that? 4. 4 was, 2468 Motorway. 2468 Motorway.
Yeah. Tom Robinson.
Tom Robinson, yeah. That was the 4. Then you had the 5 from Manfred Mann, 54321. We wrapped it up with a bit of 5 star from Minute, something about,
Can't wait.
Can't wait another minute.
Another minute.
So, they're the answers.
Yeah,
we're looking for someone who, I don't think we got anyone who had them all right. But
nobody got all 7, although in your little answer list then you only listed 6, because you got, your numbers went out of sync in your own brain. Well done, once again. Smooth. I tell you what, Carl, why don't you next week at least write down the answers for yourself?
Don't need to.
Well, you clearly do, because you get to embarrass yourself.
Don't need to! You've proved that you do.
Right, okay. Anyway. Well done, I'm going to give it to, Paul Tier. PJ Tier, because he got 5 of the 7. Correct.
Well done.
So he gets.
And he's getting that signed Kevin Spacey.
Yeah,
DVD.
if you can just email us your address as well and get them off to you today.
All right.
Brilliant.
That's what you're dealing with.
So you've done that competition. That's been put to bed.
Let's have a great tune, Rick. And then what else we got? We got some monkey news.
We've got some
monkey news.
We got Cheap as Chimps.
We're doing the film thing.
Right. Got the film thing. What film is it this week?
Silence of the Lambs. You can be owning that by 3 o'clock on VHS.
Is it about $4.99? Is it?
Thereabouts.
'20th century boy. Come on, Mark. Some people want a 21st century boy these days. Mark Bolan there. A little bit out of date. On XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Right, it's that time again, isn't it? Monkey news.
Yeah, monkey news.
Sure, monkey news.
Right, if you're a new listener, this is where we do a bit of monkey news.
Giving these charts on a news programme, like News Night Review or News at 10, over to Karl Pilkington. Yeah, alright. Monkey's gone mad again. Go on.
Right, we've done quite a lot of good stuff. The one that sort of kicked up most of the fuss was probably Ollie the monkey.
I love the fact that they're all monkeys. He's a chimpanzee.
Well, right.
It's an ape.
Well, today, right, we're looking at one that's it's called Coco.
Oh yeah, the sign language one.
Well, what I've read about him is he speaks, right?
Oh, God.
Highly educated.
Yeah.
Photographer.
Oh, Carl!
Right.
I love the fact that when he gets a gifted ape, he has to look up to him. He realises that he is superior. I love that.
Right.
Oh.
And it also likes going on computer chat rooms.
I can't take this anymore, Steve. I'm gonna be sick. Oh, gosh.
Right, that's pretty amazing.
You know, if an infinite number of monkeys are in an infinite number of chat rooms, they'll eventually type, which is your favourite episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Exactly, yeah. Karl Pilkington, you're an idiot.
But the thing is, right, you're saying about the infinite thing again, about monkeys, if you put them in a room with a typewriter, they'll come up with Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I'd sort of agree with that, right, with monkeys who can't do other stuff, but this one I reckon's gonna be busy taking pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
I think monkeys that are boring...
Is there a boring monkey? Would you ever have a chimp and you'd go, Suzanne would go, I've got your birthday present, and you know, it's a chimp fella, he's about, about a sort of like a middle-aged chimp.
No, I'd love it, I'm talking
Would you ever go, I'll tell you what, Suzanne, that one's boring.
No, but I bet the monkey would get bored, I mean. Do you know what I mean? The monkey would be bored. I'd be loving it. I'd love to have a little monkey. Right? But what I'm saying is...
You really would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You'd buy him a camera, he'd be happy again, wouldn't he?
Well... Yeah, but that's just it. You wouldn't get him it's like... If you can do other stuff, you don't want to do the boring stuff.
Forget the typing, forget the monkey's typing. Talk about this monkey that's a photographer.
No, but we are in a way. I'm just saying that would be happier... Monkeys that have got nothing else to do, if they can't take pictures and that, and they can't go on chat rooms...
They're happy to sit in a room typing away for infinity, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But he's got maybe a little exhibition to put on.
Do you think...
Do you know that most chimps and apes and monkeys still actually just live in trees? These are in laboratories and zoos and things. You know that's not the norm. These monkeys walking around sort of chatting and riding bikes.
Yeah.
You know, that's not natural.
Exactly.
No, I know, but it's...
If you left a bike in the jungle and then came back a few years later, there wouldn't be monkeys riding around on it. And a book. If you left a bike with a book in the basket, right, and you went away for 10 years and you came back, there wouldn't be a whole new transport system and schools.
No.
They'd eat it. They'd throw it round and eat it.
Alright then, so what you're saying is you can't... You see, what I think is, right, and don't take this the wrong way in that, right, Stephen Hawking,
Yes.
right, now he had a bad illness. Now, I wonder if he'd be... I wonder if he'd be as bright as he is if he didn't have that.
Right.
Because he's had time to sit down, he's like, well, what can I do?
Yeah.
They've gone give him a book. And he read it. I like that. Give us another one.
Yes.
He's got a lot of time on his hands.
Yes.
Now, what I'm saying is, monkeys... yeah,
Right.
This one here, Coco, which I think was a gorilla,
Right.
right? That wouldn't have been happy on a little keyboard, just doing that all
Typing
day,
away.
because it'd be going, well, I could be out taking pictures.
Sure.
Play a record!
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Play a record!
Yeah.
Done.
You're an idiot!
There it was. There's the catchphrase. Once more.
He is! He's an idiot!
Sure. Sure.
Athlete, El Salvador, on XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, the amazing Steve Merchant and the incredible Karl Pilkington. Alright? Right, we've done that, monkey news, right, straight, let's hit 'em dead, let's go straight with cheap as chimps, Karl.
Right, well, this will probably finish today, to be honest. Oh, right? Because what if we looked at it, cheap as chimps, we found out that...
They eat one banana. Next, go on, do this one.
banana
Yeah,
a day and that.
yeah, that's
Right,
it, brilliant.
So what...
It was a long-running feature, go on.
What? Sorry, can I just ask again, what are the rules with cheapest chimps?
It's just, you know, if you wanted a chimp, how much would it sort of cost you?
Brilliant.
Right?
Title come first?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
As always, that's the way they do it. Right? Cheap as chimps. I thought I'll go online and see, you know, if I could buy one.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you reckon?
£6,000.
To buy a chimp?
Yeah.
Oh no, a ridiculous amount. Where can you buy them from? What sources? You shouldn't be able to buy them.
eBay.
What do you mean? Buy a chimp? From who?
There was this website that was selling stuff.
What you could actually
What are you talking about?
Right, here we go then, right? I looked at it. Here's some of the other animals that were on there.
No, wait a minute. What, are these poachers?
I don't know.
What, zoos that got bored with them? Where can you buy a chimp?
I don't want to give it a plug.
Right,
Some
go on
website,
then.
right?
So what are the other animals available?
Right, well, I'll give you some prices with the other animals, then you can try and work out if it's cheap as chimps, right? So, right, a camel. What do you reckon?
£25,000.
Right, $8,000 for a camel, right? Sloth?
40 quid.
$3,000.
Right.
Last one. Bengal tiger.
Oh, that's got to be pricey. $12,000.
$1,800.
What?
Yeah.
Carl, this is an awful website. That can't be true, mate.
Right,
That's
so,
awful.
a chimp.
Well,
$5,000.
I'm going to go with $1,000.
55,000.
What?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
So.
But I don't know what to say because this is rubbish anyway. What website can you buy? Okay, get me a tiger. Here's £1,000. Get me a tiger.
Well, I don't know.
You're an idiot.
Postage and packages and.
Sorry, so where does the cheapest chimps element come in?
Well, that's sort
Aren't
of
you supposed to
rounds it up.
shout, it's cheapest chimps at the end?
Well, it isn't. That's why I want to finish the feature.
I don't know what is the most cheapest chimps?
Oh, this is amazing. This is amazing broadcasting.
So.
We're up for a Sony award, aren't we? I hope they're listening, because it's ours.
Yeah.
With features like cheap as chips, it's ending because they're not.
It's in the bag.
And do you remember? Here's Athlete.
Can't stop the spirits when I need you. This life is more than just a read-through.
Can't stop the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Well, I've got news for you boys. I don't want to stop you. I love your funk rock fusion. Word of warning, no nudity. Repeat, no nudity at this gig.
I do it like you. I think you should host a whole show like that. It's lovely that. So, have you ever done any like DJ, like proper DJ, like in a pub or a club? Because I know Carl had his own. I had my own disco when I was a kid.
Yeah, not proper. I had a gig once when I had to. It was 2 nights a week in the local pub. Just the 2 decks that was in a suitcase. You know, there's those sort of all-in-one thing. And they just wanted the same records. They wanted Rod Stewart, Baby Jane. They wanted about 11:15 when they were all drunk. They wanted Don McLean's American Pie, which they all sang along to.
Yeah.
Uptown Girl they liked.
Right.
But yeah, I didn't used to do the talking.
Did you do the patter?
No, I couldn't. I just don't understand it. I just love those wedding sort of DJs that they have to give you extra information. They can't just play a song. They have to say things like, "Ooh, all the way back there in the Commodore's easy." It's sort of like they have to tell you something. Who's listening? They're just going to play the next record.
It's
a wedding, yeah.
It's like, there's like the controller of a local radio station listening. He just happens to be at the wedding, thinking, "Hang on,
hold on, he's played a record, but he's got extra information." Well, they should do useful things at a wedding, like will the overweight aunt in the purple dress please now take the floor with the little unfortunate kid and let him hop around?
As the dance floor is currently empty, will any 8-year-old boys wearing those tiny tuxedos please slide across the dance floor on their knees until they are taken home and put to bed early?
I went to one once. And the bloke who'd hired it went to the DJ, and this DJ that had come with this sort of party wanted a 70s disco, and he looked like Woody Allen, right? And I was sure he used to be a gentleman's outfitters, like, and he said, "Oh, I wanted a 70s disco," and he went, "Well, I've got Bicycle Race by Queen lined up, I've got ELO, and I've got Cliff We Don't Talk Anymore, so," and he went, "Well, I went sort of more disco." He went, "I don't really want to blow all my Earth, Wind and Fire before 10. But it's like all planned.
There is a rule. There are rules. Will the 17-year-old girl who's dressed like Avril Lavigne please tut loudly because I still haven't played anything by Linkin Park?
Will the 45-year-old woman recently divorced please cry now?
Yeah,
please cry now.
Please cry now because it's clear you're never going to find another man. Because you used to be a DJ, didn't you? Because there is a sort of rule, definitely. I remember there was like, you know, what I learned was that there are certain tunes you just do not play early on. Oh, What a Night, for instance.
Dun, 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 yeah.
People, you never play that before like 11. You want that last hour before they've got to go home to be non-stop dancing.
When would you pop on Dancing Queen?
Interesting, thanks for that. Is there a buffet being served?
Yes.
Yeah, well, definitely post-buffet. I remember there was great days, I was reminded this recently, by ITV's Reborn in the USA. There was a great time where you could come out of the buffet, or any kind of speech, with a bit of Gina G. I remember there was a great period for a couple of years where that was always a barnstormer.
Sure.
Sadly, no longer the case. What about, I mean, because the danger is, of course, you go back to the 70s, maybe you got Dancing Queen, but how many do you play before you come into the 80s with perhaps Billie Jean?
Or Soft Cell.
Soft Cell's always a classic, yeah. I'd love to hear that. And, because there's always controversy now, as to whether Love Shack is overplayed. I know that's a big discussion now.
I've never liked it. No, I just like, will any 35-year-old men please now dance ironically to Bombastic, in the vain hope that someone would actually find them attractive. Love Shack, oh no, never liked
Common
it.
Eileen?
I never, yeah, alright, I just never liked any records that with a hint of novelty about them.
They are popular, they're floor fillers.
I hate them.
You haven't done DJing, have you?
Exactly.
What do you mean?
Singing on the other side of your face.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
You didn't play Dexter's Midnight Runners?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't plan it out that much when I did it. It was like, I knew I had the tights and cigars to give away.
Yes, yeah.
Which he stole from his parents' bedroom beforehand. Yeah. Why were you giving away stuff at a disco anyway? Why aren't you just playing records?
Because people liked it, didn't they? If it wasn't...
It hasn't changed. We're doing this. We talk rubbish, we play records, and we give away crap that we found.
Yeah.
It hasn't changed, has it?
And, so I had some good times. I mean, for people who haven't been listening all the time, it was called Pilkey's Making Music.
Yeah, Colin Making.
It was like Pilkington, and my mate was called something Making, and the music was what we played.
Yeah.
Right? And I had some cards made. Had some nice blue glossy cards made, but they were quite expensive.
Yeah.
So I used to hand them out, and then they'd say cheers for that, and say, no, write it down. Write the number down, I want that back.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Because they were quite pricey.
Yeah. Classy businessman there.
I
think Richard Branson used to do that.
I think so, yeah.
Saved a bit of money, because my dad made some lights for me. He just like...
He said he made them, he found them in a telephone box. People were making phone calls in the dark. Round the neighbourhood.
Exactly.
It was just white bulbs in like a box, and like my mate making, he used to just flick them on and off, like the thing, and then they'd be in time with the music and that. And,
perfect.
Well, you had to sit there and
I love that. I love that. We got our sound to light system. What's his name? Colin.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Right. So.
Did you ever rent him out?
Right, well, we never had any disasters, right? But my mate did one, right? And I don't know if it's that funny, really, but it. Well, I'll tell you anyway, right? He was doing this gig, and it was probably one of the biggest gigs, right, that he ever had. Must have been a couple of hundred people there. Yeah. And in like a big sort of warehouse thing. Anyway, for some reason, there was some problem with a big speaker that fell, right? So, the police turn up and stuff.
Right.
And they try to control the night, and they're going, can everyone sit down? We try to control it. Can you sit down? So anyway, you get a few, like, little groups of people sitting down on the floor, and people were still stood up, and the police were saying, look, you know, we're going to cancel this whole night if you don't all sit down, and more people are sort of sitting down. It's going on for about 20-odd minutes, right? Will you please sit down? And it gets to this point when there's just one lad stood up in the middle. And he's going, look, you're ruining it for everyone. Will you sit down? And it goes quiet for a bit, and someone's muttering something. And he goes, the lad standing up has got calipers on his legs. Can we have a round of applause for the kid?
Who said that?
It was this lad who was doing the DJ. He was the DJ. So, like, they kept the police and everything were saying, well, you sit down, you're ruining it for everyone else.
Dear. You know, the quick way to sort that out would have been to play
James.
Or sit down. Yeah.
But most of mine I had good nights.
Yeah.
Always got rebooked and stuff, and...
I had a bunch of Venture Scouts went mental once, had a food fight.
What were you playing to Venture Scouts for?
Well, we got booked by everyone, Rick. I mean, we started with weddings and local, you know, things, but we soon went up. At one point we played a massive gig in a big tent in the middle of nowhere for some scouts, and they absolutely loved us. Rage Against the Machine, they couldn't believe their luck.
Do you know when they say, weddings and bar mitzvahs, do they get a lot of discos playing bar mitzvahs? Is that a big, I don't know.
So.
What happens at a bar mitzvah?
Well, I've never been to a bar mitzvah.
Could someone phone in if you've had a little bar mitzvah? Tell me what it was like. What did you play at a bar mitzvah? I don't know what the occasion is really. It's becoming a man, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. We learned something, won't we, Carl?
Yeah, alright. Do you want them to phone in?
Yeah.
Do we?
Well, I want to know if they really do have DJs at bar mitzvahs.
Alright.
Oh wait,
how interested are you in that?
Well, you know, I don't want to embarrass myself one day.
Sure.
Let's see, Carl, you've got to learn, haven't you?
I'll tell you what, have we got time for the film thing as well?
Yeah, play the film thing now.
No, let's play a tune, let's play a
tune.
Oh, I can't believe my luck.
Better Cure?
Yeah. Brilliant. Someone called in, she's been to a bar mitzvah, and they do have apparently a crap disco. And apparently,
what happens?
Well, Carl asked her what happens. She said, you just sit around and see the kid who's getting bar mitzvah, or the man now, get given loads of money.
Right.
And I said there's a female equivalent. And apparently there is a female equivalent of a bar mitzvah, but she didn't know what it was called.
What's that? A bar titzvah.
Right, I'm just going to add to the list of people we've offended. Sorry to Jewish people as well.
Yeah, we've got to...
So sorry to Jewish people, sorry to Chinese people, to Welsh people.
Ugly fat women.
Well, don't put the Welsh in twice. Sorry to Elvis fans.
Elvis fans. Animal lovers.
Animal lovers. Brilliant. Well, lovers of great radio.
Yeah.
That was, music lovers. Good, well, sorry about that.
Apologies to all of you.
Yeah, and,
we haven't even had time for, we haven't got time for the film thing this week.
Oh, why not?
Just, it's running tight, really.
You sure?
We haven't done Cheeky Freak of the Week.
That's a new feature, isn't it?
That's a new feature.
Cheeky Freak of the Week. Let's do Cheeky Freak of the Week. What is the cheekiest freak of the week? So, I'm just gonna apologise now. I've just had
Freaks, sorry to freaks. Okay, right, go ahead.
Well, I say it's a new feature, but we've sort of touched on it in the past with...
We always talk about freaks.
Hairy Chinese Kid.
Yeah.
We've had, the Pillow Man.
Yeah. Oh, you called a draft excluder?
Just make a note of that, would you, Rick, on the list?
People without arms and legs.
But at least, you see, the Pillow Man, what do you picture? Because I was saying to Ricky in the week, right, I'm a great fan of the Elephant Man.
That's his, that's his favourite freak.
Oh,
the
of all
Elephant
the
Man.
freaks,
Do you know why he said, he said, because you get what you pay for. When someone says the Elephant Man, you get what it says on the tin. Right. You know you're gonna get it.
Yeah. Do you imagine, Steve, if you had a mate and you said, where are you going? He said, I'm going to go and see my mate. And you go, which mate? And he said, the Elephant Man.
Yeah.
Straight away, you haven't even met him, but you know what he's going to look like.
Yes.
Right? That's what I like about that. Hairy Chinese Kid.
Yeah, you know what you're going to get.
Pillow Man.
Yeah.
Not so good.
What does that mean?
It could be one of those big fat things on that show, couldn't it? A big pillow, like a...
Yeah.
You know, they do that big thing about the fat people in feeders. They were getting up to like 60 stone and that big one. And there's a thing called fat admirers that just fancy fat women, right? And
You writing that down?
Yeah, sorry. And they had blow up versions. It looked like a bouncy castle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You'd be knackered when you blew that up.
Yeah,
you just wouldn't want to go forget it.
Yeah.
Oh God,
That's people being cruel as well, isn't it? Because after watching the programme on Channel 4 about the fat people and fellas who like them and stuff, there was a story on one of the news websites about some fella in Germany, right? He was a big fella, must have been about 50 stone, and he fell over, right? And I think he hurt his ankle or something. And
Timber.
They sent firemen instead of like an ambulance.
Yeah.
So straight away they're having a bit of a laugh.
They're not. No, they've got winching gear.
Well, they didn't know. They didn't have winching gear. They had to use the hose pipes to carry him out. I think it was Anna Nova, that news website. They had to use the hose pipes, so they made like a bed using the hose pipes.
Oh yeah.
And had to carry him out on that. And then they had to sort of get him into a special truck, they said. And do the same when they got to the hospital. I mean, that's a bit...
That's mad, isn't it?
They shouldn't do that.
Although, Carl, I'm loving that story. I'm just worried that we're not going to be able to fit in Cheeky Freak of the Week.
What's the Cheeky Freak of the Week?
Alright, Cheeky Freak of the Week. Something I found on the net.
Yeah.
Fella who had 27 toes and fingers.
In a jar?
No, still on him. And proper ones as well, not like little stumps and that. Proper, fully formed fingers. He had like...
Was he a pianist? Close-up magician?
I don't know what he did. He just said that he was...
Cat's cradle professional.
Did he ever work on finger bobs?
He was saying in the week.
For the crowd scenes.
I'm now going to do Braveheart.
Yeah.
He said about the Elephant Man. He said, I want to do a thing right with freaks, where it's good and bad. He went, what you said, the pro about him is...
What about the fella with loads of fingers, or...?
No, the Elephant Man.
Well, he
said the bad thing is he stretches his jumpers.
When he puts them on.
Yeah.
And what's the good thing?
Sort of, he never gets up and goes, oh, my hair's a bit of a mess today.
No. He's always having another bad face day.
I'd like to complain about this head and shoulders. You're taking the piss.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
So that's freaky.
Didn't you see an elephant woman in Manchester?
Yeah, leave that.
What do you mean, leave it?
No, because it is sad.
I know it's sad, but I mean, I don't know what my next sentence is.
Yeah, when people always
That
think...
should be the end.
I don't need to say anymore, people will know what she looks like. It's a good name for her.
Did she like buns? Oh dear.
It was when my dad was a taxi driver and I used to sit in the front.
Yeah.
And she used to get a lot of taxis.
Yeah.
And
he only charged you half price, didn't he? He was a good guy.
Well, the bad thing is as well with people like that, you don't want to offend them because they never forget.
Oh, go!
But,
go, Pilkington!
I was sat in the front of the cab and my dad goes, right, we're going to go and pick the I can't even tell you the name of these guys, just evil.
What do you mean?
No, leave it, so she's got...
No!
No,
Carl!
please.
Tell me what he said!
No.
You've already stitched him up in Stephen things from Little Welsh
I
fellas.
don't care.
Right, what did he call her?
Steve, back
No!
this, I really
Carl,
don't want
to be
to...
fair, our opinion of him is already pretty low.
Look, tell me what he said.
No, it's not, I'm scared of what my dad gets, it's the person who's got... The
She's
thing
not
wrong.
listening, is she?
Well, her headphones wouldn't fit on her head.
Tell me what he called her.
I don't want to.
Tell me what he called her, Carl. I'm getting angry, man. Tell me what he called her.
No, we'll leave that. Honestly,
Tell me what he...
It doesn't matter.
Tell me what he called her! Carl, just... I'm gonna go...
Seriously, I want to know what he called her.
Right, you're not gonna stop this show. We're not doing the next show until you tell me what he called her.
What did your father call the elephant head woman?
Tell me.
Spudhead.
How old were you?
I don't know, about 9.
So did you expect to see a potato with a dress?
He did sort of, again, it's a good name. Do you know what I mean? They had an idea of what it was going to be about, and he said, do you want to stay in the car? I'll take you home because you can't...
Spudheads, you got lovely eyes.
Can't.
Come on, man.
That's it, by the way.
Is that all? Is that all of it?
Cheers. Bye.
Brilliant. Well, let's end with LL Cool J. Magnificent.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. I'm rocking my pants.
Hickory dickory dock, some lads there just wrote a song called Clocks. The lads are Coldplay.
And the song is?
Clocks. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington, pressing the little buttons there. XFM 104.9. What's that? What's that little Well,
I think I do more than press the buttons.
right, see, this is it, right? Karl has had a little strop on since last night, okay? And it's...
He's had a little strop on?
Yeah.
You said strop on. I just wanted to clarify.
And, I don't know why. He says that I'm an annoying person. He says that I wound him up, right? Which I don't know. He says that you're winding up because you're sort of like negative about everything.
Negative?
Yeah. And, but what I think it is because we pointed out that his lateness is unacceptable.
Yeah.
He said, meet you at 6. He turned up at 20 past. He said, well, someone stopped me in the corridor. I don't care.
I've got stuff to do.
We had stuff to do. I think we're a bit busier than you, Karl. You've got one job, we've got loads of jobs, I keep telling you that.
Yeah.
You've got one job in a little room, a 9 to 5 there, that you don't even get done in 9 to 5, that's why you're late and mucking around all the time.
There's loads of work to do.
Yeah, one
Right.
job.
No, it's not. It's one job with a lot of other jobs in it. It's like those little Russian dolls you get. Right?
Well, it's
So
not,
don't
is
have
it?
a go. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks, oh, he only sits in his studio messing about, making songs a phrase. That's what I do in my free time. Which we've got coming up later.
Super slick. I still think 20 minutes late is an outrage, though.
Yeah,
Karl.
20 minutes late is...
Yeah, but I didn't say bang on 6, I
You
said
said
around
6.
6.
No, you didn't. You said 6, which means 6.
Well, it doesn't.
Wait, sorry, it doesn't?
If I was a newsreader, I'd say, yeah, you've got to be on time. Do you know what I mean? If it was a 6 o'clock news, I wouldn't want to be late. But it's the fact that I said to you, I'm busy, I've got stuff to do.
No, you didn't say that. You said 6 o'clock to sort out tomorrow's show.
I didn't. I know what I said. So
Yeah,
it doesn't
well,
matter, so-
You don't, because I remember you sent me a text. You didn't even, it wasn't even a phone call. You didn't even have the politeness to call.
Stephen has stitched him up by
It was a
being a
text.
little bit more
Busy.
precise than him.
It was a text and it said, see you around 6 tomorrow, question mark?
Around. You just said it.
Well,
Around
yeah, but
6.
that doesn't count, that doesn't mean anything.
Well, yeah, no, he does.
What, so, alright,
You
Rick.
told me he said 6.
Well, he did, I'm paraphrasing. 6 o'clock, Rick, to me, even if it was around 6 o'clock, that would be 5 to 6 or 5 past 6. It would not be 20 minutes after the event. Because that is late.
Well.
Well, you've got nothing, you see, you haven't even got an excuse.
Yeah, but then I turned up, right, and I said, right, well, let's not argue about this. Let's come up with some good new features, because we've been in, Cheapest Chimps, that's gone today.
Good news.
He never liked Cheapest Chimps, Karl, did he?
Right, he never liked it. Do you know what? Do you know who's took it further? Donald McIntyre.
What?
He's doing a programme, Cheapest Chimps.
No, he's not.
doing
It's a
a
channel. Well, we'll see. Again, I'll prove you right. Again.
He's
Prove you
not.
wrong.
He's not doing a program Cheapest Chimps, is
He
he?
is.
He's not. What do you mean?
He's doing a tour of trail on Channel 5, and it was saying, you know,
Is
he's
it
done
5
this.
or is it about 20 past 5?
He's doing this, he's done that, you know, now see him on Channel 5 because he's moved to Channel 5.
Right.
He's saying, first big problem, chimps, you know, they deer and that. And,
No, they're not dear. He's getting confused.
No, 50 odd grand for a chimp, and it's saying, you know, he'll look into how much you can get gorilla for.
What are, in the name of God, are you talking about?
We'll talk about that later.
But I don't know what...
I'm just saying, that's another idea.
And then, so go on, you got off, this is why you never get stuff done and you're late. You got off the point, you were talking about arriving late.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying to you now, I turned up late, so I said, right, well, let's not argue.
Yeah.
I said, let's do some stuff.
Yeah.
You weren't having any of it. I think at one point you were trying to be sick on my leg.
I do remember that.
Yeah?
Why? Just for fun?
Yeah.
Alright.
So that's when I started getting annoyed.
He was very annoyed last night.
No, yeah, okay. Yeah, I can see where that could be annoying, but you just gotta think, hey look, so what? It's, you know...
Well...
I think you rub each other up the wrong way.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Well, no more cheapest chimps today, and nothing to replace it, because we didn't have a chat. Songs of phrase, we're doing that, you can win some stuff.
Yeah, we've got the film that we haven't done for the last 2 weeks.
The final film, we won't be doing that
Let him down, it's 2 weeks. Don't you say 2 weeks late on that?
Can I just ask, guys, is there going to be some great music?
Yeah. Well,
what about something from the only ones?
Yeah,
the classic,
Another Planet.
Brilliant.
Another Girl, Another Planet by The Only Ones on Xfm 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl, cheer up. Come on. There's a war on. Chill out.
Yeah.
I have to say, you have become increasingly annoying, recently, Rick.
Who, me?
Yeah, chiefly, I tell you what it is, I think it's the hot weather. Can I just remind you, when we were in the office recently, we've got a little office that we write in, we work in, and, many moons ago, we were doing some work, this was when we were writing the first series of the office, and, I was typing away, I was just typing something up we'd written, and I read it back to Ricky, just to check he was happy with everything, I was reading it back, and, as part of the thing, there was a knock in the script, it's a, you know, knock, and so I was acting out for him, and I knocked like this, and I realised he wasn't listening, he was in fact asleep underneath his desk, and I knocked like that, as part of, reading the stage directions, I knocked, he thought someone was coming in, he leapt up, clunked his head, zipped up, thought someone, I said, Rick, it's not, I'm just acting it out for you. He just wasn't paying attention, he wasn't listening, and can I just throw in, so recently, we're in another office, we're typing away, I look round, he's got his shirt off.
It was hot.
He's just taking his shirt off, right? So he's sat there, 41-year-old man, or whatever you are, 40-year-old man, there with his shirt out. Beautiful. I mean, I've seen most parts of your body now, at one point or another. I think from the early days when we used to work at XFM, you started showing me bits of your anatomy, which is something he does to people he likes, friends of his. I'm sure you've seen most of it, Karl.
No.
And so,
it's not that sort of relationship. Go on.
He was sat there, and there was a knock at the door because we'd asked someone who worked in the building to bring us something, and so I had to delay it by sort of not opening the door so he could get his shirt back on.
Yeah.
So he was running around trying to get his shirt back on.
So what would they have thought? What would they have thought?
They'd have walked in, he'd have just been sat there, stripped to the waist.
Didn't they sort of think, hang on, what's going on? Look through the keyhole.
No.
No. It was ludicrous, because as they came in, he was flustered and he kind of was just leaning against the window, just looking like, I often stand here with my, my shirt back to front.
I was getting like Bernard Manning. You see Bernard Manning, whenever he goes into the house, he has to go upstairs to take his trousers off. I love that. The fact that in your house you've just got your pants and your vest on. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, but it's all the time. It's not just, I mean, you haven't done that with me, taking your clothes off and that yet. But, like, last night we were sat in the pub and I was saying, right, you know, let's not even worry about new features then. Let's get the current ones, you know, going.
Like what?
Good. Like... the one that I was trying to work out, the, cheeky freak of the week.
Think of that!
Yeah, but
Think of that, though, as a normal conversation.
Yeah, but I'd looked online, right, I didn't find that much. I found, actually, I'll tell you what I found later. Brilliant. We're looking for them, right? And, then at one point, I think you said to me, go and, you know, what about the Guinness Book of Records?
Yeah,
you know, they'll have, like, the best freak in the world or whatever.
Yeah, ever.
So, I said, yeah, bring one in. Now, you've got one at home.
Yeah, I've got a couple.
But you couldn't be bothered carrying that in today, so I had to go out of the pub that I was at.
Yeah.
Nip into Borders.
Yeah.
Buy Guinness Book of Records.
Yeah.
Out of my own money, $18.99.
Yeah.
Bring it back, and then you said, oh, I don't know if I want to do this feature. So it cost me 20 quid for that. I had to buy a video for Silence of the Lambs film clip. I'm actually out of pocket at the end of this.
But do you want to work with me is the thing. If you want to work with... people would pay that sort of money to work with me, Karl. you're a lucky bloke. Think how many people think, oh, Carl, he gets to drink and sit.
Yeah.
Well, you were making a cup of tea and I surprised, didn't I? Little surprises.
Steve, you know, last night, do you know when I left the pub in a bit of a mood because I was just fed up with not getting anything done?
Yeah.
Walking down the road, I was thinking, how can I get out of this? How can I stop having to work with them? I'm thinking, I wonder if I leave, I wonder if they'll be funny and they'll go, and then my boss will be giving me stick. I'm thinking, how much notice have I got to give out? And all this is going through my mind. I'm walking home and I got in, said to Suzanne, I'm sick of it. She's going, you need to do it when I get a new kitchen. And I was like, yeah, but how big does the kitchen need to be? I was saying, do we need a big kitchen? Can we get a small one? Have we got enough for a small kitchen? Do we need so many cupboards? Can we just have wood instead of steel? All this, try to get out of doing this.
Yeah. It's always just, I always feel like, you know, because I like to think that I'm not perhaps as bad as him.
Yeah, no.
You annoy me in different ways.
Like what? How does he annoy you?
Well, stuff that, you know, I come up with ideas, say Cheap as Chimps.
Yeah.
Rockbusters springs to mind.
Yeah.
15
like
Taiwan.
15 Taiwan. Let's just remind people what 15 Taiwan was.
It was a little feature that I wanted to give a run, you know, give it a little run, see if people like it.
The premise being?
No, there's no premise, it's just a title.
No, we were going to get 15 sort of ornaments, you'd explain them, and then people would call up and say, that one's from Taiwan.
See? Carl, you just explained why I didn't think that was a good idea.
Yeah,
by explaining the good...
No, but you know the funny thing is, Steve, right, I was walking down Regent Street on Monday, walked past one of these big stores, right, and they've got all famous quotes on the windows, right, and one of them was something like, an absurd idea is often a great idea.
Yeah.
Do you know who said that?
Go on.
Einstein.
Yes.
Which made me wonder, if you were his mate, would he ever have done E equals MC squared? Or would you have said, don't bother with that, it's not going to work? Because that's all you seem to do, everything I come up with, you put down.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing, he's negative, right, I don't know why, I don't know why he is. What else?
He messes me about, I get him concert tickets for stuff, and you say, oh, I didn't bother going.
Yeah, that is annoying.
You come in, you know, 5 minutes to go with tracks that need editing.
Yeah. The little bag, that bag that was free.
Yeah, you got a free bag today, an XFM little rucksack thing.
Yeah.
You were like, oh, what's this rubbish? Ricky said, I'll have it, they're great. You said, no, I want it.
Yeah.
Well, it was free, I need it. I'll give that as a gift or something.
So, I mean, I think on reflection, Steve is probably a little bit more annoying than me.
I won't go that far. You are annoying. If I had to go away for a week somewhere, if it was a quiet place...
Well, you are again, aren't you? That's 2 holidays you had this year, I mean.
If it was a busy place, I'd probably go with you, because people, do you know what I mean, staring at me all the time and that if I'm walking around with Steve. No, I'm just...
Can I draw up a list of reasons I don't like you, Carl?
Just being honest.
Well... I'll tell you, because the list of reasons I don't like you is incredibly long, and getting longer.
Just saying.
Do you want another slap?
There's a star. Ash, XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Carl. Alright, let's start again. Yeah? I'm gonna be the same, but let's start again. So what I mean is stop being grumpy and let me carry on being annoying. Because Steve's not going to change. He's not going to suddenly start going, you know what, Carl? I think your ideas are really good. Do you know what I mean? Remember when he came up with that idea, that game show idea? And you went, well, it's not an idea, Carl. And he came to me, he said, oh, I've had it with Steve. What's it? He went, how did The Office ever get on telly?
Well, what was the idea again, in summary?
I don't want to talk about it on air because someone will nick it.
No, they won't.
They will. Donald McIntyre's already got Cheap as Chimps. I bet they're in the making of Rockbusters as we speak. Yeah. So I'm not going to tell you any more about it.
I reckon Bob Oldness is probably nicking that idea.
Exactly.
Well,
cheeky little... Right.
Song's a phrase coming soon.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it this week? What's the phrase?
We're, remember the story I told you ages ago about my neighbour having a horse in their house?
Oh, yeah.
Having a horse,
what's happened with that? Lenny Henry doing it as a series?
So,
people nicking your ideas left, right and centre.
Well, that's the phrase we'll be using anyway.
What?
My neighbour had a horse in her house.
How many words is that?
6.
My neighbour had... So, there's no grammar either. My neighbour had horse in the house. My neighbour had horse in house. What is the phrase?
My neighbour had a horse in her house.
Are there any prepositions? Are there any prepositions in this sentence?
Look, don't judge it beforehand. You see, I'm turning over a new leaf. I think this is a great idea. I think Carl's a genius, and I look forward to hearing this enormously.
Yeah, okay. And I won't be sick on your leg, or squeeze your head, or make you jump when you're making a cup of tea.
Just looking through the Guinness
That is still the funniest thing, isn't it? Squeaking at someone when they got a cup of tea. Right.
There are a lot of what strike me as seemingly pointless feats.
The Guinness Book of Records is right. The Guinness Book of Records is great. I used to love it as a kid. I've had about 10 copies in my life. The last one I bought a couple of years ago, present. It was really good. I love it. I love the real records: tallest, fattest, thinnest, best, fastest, most expensive, biggest, and all that. But the ones that really annoy me are the ones that. The reason these people are in there for it are the only people that tried.
What?
Balancing the milk bottle on your head.
Most watches eaten. I've just found that one. Kim Sung-do from South Korea ate 5 watches, the entire watch with the exception of the wristband, in a time of 1 hour 34 minutes. What do you make of that, Carl?
Made him regular. Come on.
How did they time him?
Most live rattlesnakes held in the mouth. 8 live rattlesnakes held by, it just says an idiot.
Yeah, this gives me an idea, Carl.
Talking of idiots.
Do you want to get into Guinness Book of Records?
No,
Carl, come on, that'd be brilliant.
There's things in there that are just absolutely anyone could do. Like that one in Big Brother, I was watching it, and it was, balancing sugar lumps. I wanna know, how many people try that? There's schools around Britain going, listen, we've got to get in the Sugar Lump Award. It's grassroots level, there's not enough kids balancing sugar lumps. How can we compete in the world market?
I was looking at it last night, and there was one about the farthest that a dog swam. I think it was something like 9 miles, but it had no choice, did it? You know what I mean? He took it out to the Atlantic or something, and so it didn't want to do
Throw it in the water.
Yeah. So it's not alright to put it in a bin bag and chuck it in a canal, but, it's for a world record.
Yeah.
9 miles it did.
Oh, God.
Possible ones that you could do, Carl.
What's the most Forrest Gumps fitted in one wheelie bin?
What about this one for you, Carl? The record stands at the moment for most arrows caught by hand, but that's quite tricky. So what about most arrows caught by head?
Yeah.
And you would just fire arrows at your head.
They wouldn't, it would just skim off him.
Do you think so?
Yeah, the roundness, it would never actually get any sort of, connection.
Fastest human crab. Could you do that?
Do that.
Can you form the crab?
Can you do that?
What's that?
You just like go bending over backwards and running.
Do that.
No.
Right, what about,
what would you be good at?
What about hamburger stuffing?
Right, Carl. Alright. In the mouth, you mean?
Well, it says the record for stuffing the most regulation-sized hamburgers, including buns, in the mouth at one time is how many? How many hamburgers with buns in the mouth?
So this is just...
You're not swallowing anything, you've just got stuff in your mouth.
Carl, you'd be so good at this because your shape of your head. You've got a shape... Its head's just like Hamburglar. You'd be good at this, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, you'd be perfect. You look like Zippy.
And the great thing is your head's empty, so you could get more in there. Do you know what I mean? This guy had a brain to contend with.
Do that. What is it? Is it possible? Is it mental?
How many do you think it was? There were 3 burgers in buns. What do you reckon, Carl?
What, how quick he ate them?
He didn't eat them, it's just how many he can stuff in his face. So literally hold them within his cheeks and his mouth, but don't swallow anything.
So what, how many burgers?
How many burgers did he manage to get into his face?
So it's a fella, he's not...
Yes.
About 5?
No, 3. Is the
3?
world record. 3 is the
How
world
big
record.
are they, though?
It just says regulation size.
So we could go to McDonald's or Burger King and get just hamburgers, and that would count?
Just the regular burgers, and we'll just stuff
They
them
won't
in
count,
there.
because we got to get Norris McWhirter.
But we could practice it now, and then if you're triumphant,
Come
if you
on,
get
Carl.
4 in there...
I don't, I've got a small throat and that.
Well, you don't have to swallow them, that's the great thing.
Yeah, but I don't like it. As a kid, I'm choking on stuff, and I get funny about it.
No, just keep your tongue at the back of your mouth, and we'll stuff the hamburgers in.
No, I don't.
Oh, come on! Do something!
Carl, that is Dynamite Radio.
Here, Steve will go and get the hamburgers.
Have I got to pay for them?
No, Carl, give us the money.
Paying for them. I've just spent 25 quid in total on a video on a Guinness Book of Records. That's costing me another 4 quid. I'm not doing it.
Come on, give us the money. You're coming back. Andrew, oh, come on!
I'm not doing it.
Come on, do it. It's an interesting thing. Come on.
You could be in the Guinness Book of Records, Carl.
No, leave it.
See if we can. Oh, please, phone in if you want Carl to eat burgers. You don't have to swallow them, you can spit it all out. You can be sick on my leg after. Oh, come on!
No, 'cause I don't like the stretching thing either.
Don't stretch it,
It will stretch, I'll be like the little bloody dog on the Winston Churchill ad.
Don't swear!
Well, I'm just saying, though, I know, but
we apologise to the Radio Authority. Carl is not only swearing, but he's refusing to do things we come up with.
But the Radio Authority will be happy with me stuffing 3 burgers in my face.
God,
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, we will.
No,
go,
leave it.
Yeah,
I'll give
you the money.
Can we do songs of phrase, something?
No, let's
No,
do it.
right, play record. Play record. You're gonna do it, Carl, or you're fired.
No, actually, he wants that.
No, you're gonna do it. Do it. Please do it. It'd be great. Honestly, please do it.
What about Chicken McNuggets? Meet halfway.
No, there's no record for Chicken McNuggets.
Well.
Mental.
So I'm not doing it, Steve. So
You are.
104.9 in London.
XFM.
Steve.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah. Where are you?
I'm in one of the capital's many burger joints. I'm just about to go up now and order some burgers.
Where are you? What are you? Where are you in?
I'm in McDonald's in Leicester Square.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
What are you getting? Just get
Yep.
get
Hello
too
there. I
many.
need to order 5 regular hamburgers, please. If that's all right. Sorry. 5 hamburgers, yes. You're probably wondering why I'm ordering only 5 hamburgers, aren't you? And let me tell you why. My friend is going to try and break the world record for putting burgers into his fat, stupid face. What do you make of that? Exciting?
Yeah.
Do you wish him good luck?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Tyre.
Tyre?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much, Tyre. I'll try and get Tyre to wish you good luck in a minute, Carl. The
Five should be enough.
The world record is what? 3?
3, yeah.
Okay, good. I don't know what. Oh, here we go. How much is that? 3.45.
3.45 for 5 hamburgers.
It's good, isn't it? It's good value.
It's really, isn't it?
Really, yeah. I mean, if there's anyone from from McDonald's listening, they'd probably want to give us some free stuff, I would have thought. I would have thought, Rick. Would you just wish my friend good luck before you're just on the end of the line there? Just say good luck, Carl.
Good luck.
Alright then.
There you are. That's the people from McDonald's wishing you good luck. Carl, I'll be back shortly with the burgers.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Do you want the pickles left in? With 5 little hamburgers.
Got 5 burgers here, yep. And, so I don't know, how should we begin, Carl? Do you want to just look at the size of these burgers? They're quite small.
Look, they can see it on webcam, can't they? They can see us stuffing these burgers into your mouth.
Hmm.
And by the way, I'm filming this, Steve. Look,
Brilliant.
Look, I've got a camcorder.
Yeah.
We'll put this on unseen footage on a DVD or something.
Or maybe on the website.
On the Oh, Carl, what if you break the record?
Okay, Carl, I'm coming round now to just monitor this and adjudicate.
What's the web? If people want to see this on the webcam, what is it?
xfm.co.uk.
Right, okay. Hold on. Oh, can I, Steve,
I'm
can
not
I do
being
that?
funny. I'm not being funny, right? But I think I have got like a bit of a wheat thing.
You've got a bit of a what?
A wheat allergy
Oh,
thing.
don't give me that.
No, seriously, my head's... I've been eating a lot of shredded wheat recently. And my head's got a bit bigger.
Carl, I don't think you can let us down now, mate. So you just got to put that first
No,
one
I can't put that like that in my mouth on its... I've got to break it up. I've got to break it up.
You can't break it up.
It doesn't say you can't on the rule thing.
It does.
It doesn't. I can't look. I physically can't.
Try it.
I can't look. I'd have to be Jay Goody to be able to do that. Seriously, look.
Try it. Yeah, I know, but you're not approaching it right. That's it.
Come on, go on.
That's all I'm saying. Keep going.
God, he's not going to do one.
Keep going. That's good work. Keep going.
How did they get a 3 in? Keep pushing.
Ease it in. Ease it
Keep
in.
pushing. Get one in at least.
Ease it
Get
in.
one in at least. Get one in.
Ease it in.
Get one in. Push it.
That's one. Then let's go with another one.
Let's go one.
Night swimming deserves a quiet.
R.E.M. Night Swimming. It's a lovely song, isn't it, Carl? Huh? XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant. Carl, disappointing. You couldn't even get one whole burger in your mouth.
I did, kind of.
Yeah, but there was a bit sticking out, it just looked messy.
But you were saying about putting it in whole, and I don't think that's the rule.
Okay.
It's like you can get more in a suitcase if you put things in properly. So you don't just get all your clothes and chuck them in, so it's about... I reckon you've got to rip it up a bit.
Okay, do that then. See how many you can get in. You've got to get in 2.
No, just one.
No.
Well, it's
don't
pretty
rip it up and
easy.
pack it in. What do you do? Pack your cheeks first.
Honestly, Steve, my head is swelling a bit because I have got a wheat allergy.
That'd be good then, there'd be more room. Right, okay, look, Carl is now just sticking it in his cheek.
Right. Yeah.
Don't eat any.
You can't swallow any. It's like a hamster, you've got to work it like a hamster.
Yeah, stick it in. Come on. Look at his face.
He looks like Marlon Brando in The Godfather.
Come on. Don't lose any yet. Right.
Pack it in, then use your fingers to pack it in.
Come
That's
on!
it. Wedge it in. Like you're grating the bath.
I can't do this either.
Keep going, keep going! Keep going, don't give up so early! This is part of the problem, you just give up, Carl, too quickly.
You failed again. It's like your history O level. Come on, Carl, come on, do something well. Succeed at something. Push it in, you've got nearly a half a burger there. Or I'll come round there. You're chewing, don't chew!
I've got a bit of food.
I don't know what he said, but... Is that a
What, is that a whole one? No, it's not, I can see bits left!
Come on, Carl, come on, keep working at it. Keep working at it. Look, there's so much space in your mouth, I can see it.
He's going red, okay. Okay, we'll do another one.
We'll do another one. That one then.
We're doing a... Oh, are you alright?
Are you going to be sick?
Are you alright?
Alright.
Oh god, should we play a record? He's making my eyes water now. Oh.
Okay, I'll find a different one for you.
Find a different one for
What
him.
about most grapes eaten in 3 minutes?
I'll go. Do you want to do that? Grapes are easy, aren't they?
That's easy. Great.
Come on, grapes are easy. White Stripe, Seven Nation Army that jumped twice. I apologise for that. You're the producer, Carl.
Yeah.
It jumped twice.
Well, it's not my fault if people are slipping around because the burger's on the floor. You're trying to squeeze my head when the song's playing.
What difference does that make?
Well, anyway.
Right. Don't take any. Right. I've just got some grapes there. We've counted them out. What's the record then?
Okay, well, the most grapes eaten in 3 minutes, you've got 3 minutes, Carl, and you've got to beat Matt Hand from the UK, who consumed a total of 133 grapes in 3 minutes on the 8th of November 2001.
Right, there's 150.
So there's 150 in there.
Right. Okay.
So you've got 3 minutes.
What are the rules?
The rules
You just
are...
got to eat them and swallow them, and it's like Cool Hand Luke, right? You got to just stuff them in and don't choke, because I got worried with the burger. That's a good advert for McDonald's, isn't it? Not only was I impressed by the cheapness of them, but he couldn't even get one in his mouth.
Yeah.
So, value for money there. Maybe they'd like to send us some free stuff.
Yeah, free or just money. Any some money would be good.
Next week, Carl, you're eating Sony Walkmans.
That's right. Yeah.
Available for... Right. Right, Carl. Right, I think this is going to be good, right? What we're going to do, right? We've got Song 2 by Blur set up. We know that's 2 minutes, so you can play that, because that'd be boring radio hearing Carl choke, wouldn't it, for 3 minutes?
Exactly.
So, when I say go, Carl, right, I'm going to go right on the minute, right? You've got to have a handful of grapes, and you've got to press Song 2 by Blur. When we come back, you'll be stuffing your face. Hold on. You won't be able to do that. Can you work the buttons?
I can do that.
No, I don't think you can. You cannot touch the grapes until the opening note
Yeah,
of
but
Song
hold
2
on.
begins.
When Song 2 stops, can we just press up the fader? So because you'll be stuffing
Don't worry,
your
so
face.
we're almost. Let's go. If we go.
Okay.
Any second now.
Okay, right.
You're
Okay.
ready,
3, 2, 1, go!
And he's off. That's good work from Carl there. He's approaching it cautiously to begin with. Cautiously. And he's just keeping well, let's just, just keeping people up. Come on, don't make him laugh, Rick. He's choking. Oh, Carl!
Quick!
Keep going, Carl.
Come on! Come on!
What happened? Did he just throw up?
No! Don't make him laugh!
Oh,
come on!
We can make wine. Come on, Carl. You're doing so well,
Carl.
mate.
I want to go. Come on. Only.
Why are you making him laugh? That was a world record attempt.
Come on. He's over.
Keep going.
Come on! You got 25 seconds. Come on.
Oh, I think that was a shame actually, because you were doing well, but something went wrong.
I know, and I think those are bigger grapes than the ones I've seen before. They're quite big grapes. Look at his face, he looks so despondent. Come on, Carl, 8 seconds. Just a few more.
5.
Come on, what's the matter?
2.
2. 1.
It's all over, Carl.
It's all over. We better count how many you did. You can get good at this. We can get good at this over the weeks.
I think that was a fairly pitiful attempt, actually. I really thought you had a... It's interesting, actually. These are harder records than you might think.
Yeah, I know. 6, 8, 10...
How do you feel after that record-breaking attempt?
I'm not happy with that.
What are you not happy about?
The fella who did it, was he in hospital and just had loads of grapes and was bored? I'm sure he wasn't producing a radio programme, that's for sure.
Well, to be fair, neither are you. What was tricky about it? What did you find hard?
I think having Ricky standing over me,
Yeah.
sort of shouting, "Go on!" isn't normal.
No. But that wasn't...
He hasn't eaten any! Hold on. That's 50 left.
That's quite a poor attempt then, by the seam of it. Would you think about trying to maybe do that again in a couple of weeks? Would you do some practice and try that again?
No, leave it. Leave it for the experts.
And I noticed a tricky point, maybe sort of when you had about 50 seconds to go, you seemed to be spewing things into the bin. What was that?
Again, mainly Ricky standing over me, sort of.
88. He's got 88 left.
Okay, so what's the mental arithmetic there? Because we put how many in? Was it 150 in the thing, wasn't it?
What did I say? What did I say I had left?
Well, I'm not doing it again,
88.
so...
He had 88 left.
So, 62. God, you're only at 62. What's the matter with you, Carl? There's people start you at 62. That is rubbish.
That's disappointment.
Let's leave
So
that.
you failed on 2 world record attempts there.
62, and the record's at... That is rubbish. What were you doing?
Yeah, but like I said, I've got a small throat. I can't drink a drink quick. Ever since the Mr. Freeze Pops when I was 6, that I nearly choked on, I nearly died on, I can't go back. It'd be like asking, I don't know, someone who got run over to play Frogger or something.
What's Frogger?
What, you mean real life
computer game? Well, just a computer game brings back memories, doesn't it? And I can't do that.
What's Frogger? Does Frogger get run over?
Yeah.
It's a little frog that has to run across a busy road.
Do you know who he reminded me of? Apart from Hamburglar and Zippy and all that. When he was munching those grapes, because the shape of his head, it looked like a game of Pac-Man.
Yeah.
It did, as he was getting to him, it looked like...
We should have had that music.
It looked just like it. Oh,
Do you remember there was a board game version of Pac-Man?
Was there?
I mean, the only thing that Pac-Man had was the fact that it was on a computer and it was a little face eating things. But imagine that as a board game.
But there's board games of, like, things that you don't need board games for.
Yeah.
It's like, there's board games of charades.
Do you know what?
You don't need that. It's like parlour games. Board games of let's watch the telly.
Yeah.
Let's play sit around. And it's all like 1999. You don't need it.
New from Mattel, a stick. Simply run along, clanking it against a fence or a metal grate.
It's fence stick. And a picture of it like, oh, Nan, that's my stick.
I'll tell you
That's
what.
my fence stick. Do you know I saw in a shop recently the board game of Cold Feet, the TV show.
That is a winner. You are John Thompson.
Yeah.
Go back.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
Drink 8 pints. Go on.
Songs of phrase.
Songs of phrase, nicely done.
Right, we'll get this going.
How do you feel, Carl?
Yeah,
Again,
all
disappointment.
right.
Disappointment probably to your family and friends.
Well, I don't think they'll be that gutted, to be honest. Right, songs of phrase.
Well, Carl, why don't we bet we'll come back with songs of phrase, because it's a big tease, people love that.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of the hot new
We've
radio
got
quizzes.
one more thing for you to eat.
No, I'm not doing any more of that, seriously. Play a song? Right, songs of phrase next, right. That was rubbish, that half hour. Rubbish.
That's great. Roots. The Seed. XFM 104.9. I bet that is a record. Eating grapes whilst DJing.
Possibly. I'm assuming if there's any listeners out there that have a record-breaking attempt they'd like to see Carl undertake in future weeks, they should email in.
I think Jono's got that one.
Right, what have we got then? That's that.
Right.
That's the silliest side now. Let's get on with the proper show.
Right, songs of phrase.
Yeah, let's we do that.
On to the classy stuff.
Yeah. Do you want to do the prizes first?
Right, no then, where are they? Here they are. I haven't seen these, but I'm excited as ever. Alright, we have a t-shirt there, arbitrary t-shirt that you have Probably stolen off of someone. What does it say? Is it the Red Hot Chili Peppers? So
that's all right.
that's not too bad. There's a big T-shirt there. On DVD, should you be giving this away? This looks like it's the film Don't Say a Word.
Yeah.
And it's it doesn't have all the proper packaging. It's literally the disc, the DVD disc, just loose. So enjoy that. The current album from Oasis. Heathen Chemistry, DVD, on DVD, The Life of Mammals, the complete series, the David Attenborough recent DVD, that. Walking with Cavemen, which I think is a DVD, it's currently on TV, isn't it? And,
well, there you go.
And also the X-List, which is a good new compilation, double CD compilation from XFM with loads of stuff on there, including Nerd, Snoop Doggy Dogg, Athlete, all sorts.
Go on then, Carl.
So not bad, actually. Some good
nice
stuff.
one. Well done.
Right, so, yeah, it's a phrase that's been said at some point, or said a lot on the show. We've had, like, Hairy Chinese Kid. We went back to my mum had Win for 5 minutes and that. Today we're looking at my neighbour had a horse in a house, right?
Yep.
If you remember, we were talking about that probably about a year and a half ago now.
Yep.
Yeah, of course,
right.
of course people remember. They've been talking about it ever since, Carl, I imagine.
Yeah.
Well, it's famous. It's a world famous phrase. My neighbour had a horse in her house.
Right. So this is this week's Songs of Phrase, and what I've done is I've got songs with those words in that make up that sentence.
Yeah.
You got to email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. There's 6 different songs, right? You email in with what?
I don't know. There is 6. Me neighbour had horse in house. Is it really that sentence?
My neighbour had a horse in her house. It does work. Honestly, it works.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Don't bother explaining it. Just play it.
Right,
yeah.
So here's the. Here it is.
We're just listening to the
Had horse in a house.
Right.
What in God's name was that?
Yeah. Name the 6 songs.
Had horse in a house.
Huh?
Are we naming the artists or the songs?
Either.
Artists.
Anyone who gets anything can get a prize.
What's
Jeez.
more, Carl?
Artists. Here we go.
Had horse in a house.
That's tricky, Carl. That's very hard. Once more.
Had horse in a house.
Email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. I'll give it.
Another
give it
letdown.
give it
Another
one more.
letdown.
It's brilliant. This.
No.
How
No.
can you just say that after I've just been stuffing grapes in my face and
Well,
that?
you failed. You didn't get one burger in, right? Even when you tried to chop it up, there's 3, right? So that's it. Steve, out of the goodness of his heart, went to McDonald's. Okay, I got some grapes. You at 62.
That's got nothing to do with this, though. This is my game show here. Bob Holness didn't say, yeah, Blockbusters is good, but I never see him eating grapes. So this is a different thing. Forget that. Right? Here's the clips again. Here's the clips.
Had horse in a house.
Carl, you know I said I was going to turn over a new leaf and not criticise your ideas? I think it's the end of this one, mate.
Oh, he's done it again.
It's atrocious. Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you've got any idea.
Dandy Warhols. We used to be friends. That is Carl's favourite record of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, new music, better new music.
He gets one play a year, and he chose that.
That's what he chose.
It's all right, but I mean, that favourite track, innit? He played that. That was Carl's choice.
Just something new.
On XFM 104.9. Don't worry, we've got some really good stuff coming up later with me and Steve.
If you're from the 70s, you might like it.
You see that he's getting too cocky, isn't he?
It's arrogant.
It's sort of like I mean, we've tried giving him something in his life. He's got, you know what I mean? He comes in and tells us this sob story of just like a trail of failures, and we've said, Carl, come under our wing, right? He just started picking up on him. A few other people's like, and then he does that. He fails at the burgers. He fails at the grapes. He will not trust us with, you know, what we want to do. I don't know what more we can do. It's like I've saved a mouse from a cat's jaws and it turned around and bit me.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a brilliant analogy. It's a bit like we were trying to give you something that you could care about, that you could be passionate about, that would somehow give a meaning to your life.
You would be in the Guinness Book of Records alongside. I mean, Bubble. Bubble failed. Do you want to be Bubble? Do you want to be Bubble? Or do you want to be the bloke with the milk bottle on his head?
Exactly.
Who's in there?
The guy who made the watches.
Yes! Now, I've got an idea, Carl, because you're getting all stressed out. I don't know what it is. You're getting funny. I don't know what it is. I don't know what.
Because you're annoying me.
Wow, you say
started
that.
midweek.
I don't think I annoy anyone else, so it's just you on that. So, I thought maybe we could all 3 of us go away to a little health farm, for a weekend. Just get like a triple room and just.
That isn't happening.
Why?
You've just reminded me because you've been annoying me. Steve started getting on your case, you know, sort of ganging up on me. I'll tell you now, Steve, I just forgot. Remember a couple of weeks ago, you said to me that my pub quiz team is rubbish.
Yeah.
Right, well, it doesn't matter anymore because you're not part of it this time.
That's bad. That's bad, because it's interesting you say that, Carl. Carl, you say that because I tell you this, I found someone, mate, who could be, filling that tricky 5th member. I wanted to test them out this week, mate. On your team.
Test out on your team. Because
Carl.
I'll tell you what this is like. I don't know if you're familiar with Paul Ince, who used to play with Man United, right? But everyone used to say he's the governor, right? Even the players used to call him the governor, right? And Alex Ferguson at Man United was like, I'm not having this.
Yeah.
I'm in charge here. And he got rid of him. And that's what's happened. You were moaning the other week, saying your team's rubbish, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how you do on your own, right?
Ooh, he's turned, isn't he?
I'll be honest, Carl. I'd like to be on your team.
Well, sorry, Paul Ince. You'll have to go and join Middlesbrough, or wherever it is he's gone to.
Carl, what can I do to get back on your team?
It's not happening. I've already filled your boots.
Don't let him have the upper hand, Steve.
No, wait a minute. I'll tell you what always annoys me, though. Ricky spends most of the show slagging you off, right, having a go at you, annoying you in the week, squeezing your head, making you eat burgers, right? But you always take out on me. I'm the one who always gets the insults. I'm the one who's now relegated from your team. Why, when you see, this is the thing. You're just as bad as him, really, because you're siding against me, because you know that I'm willing to take it. The truth of it is this, you know that Ricky Gervais is keeping you in burgers and grapes, metaphorically speaking. He's the one that's got you in Heat magazine.
I just spat all over your new Guinness Book of Records.
You see?
Get me a tissue.
He's just squirted tea, laughing all over your Guinness Book of Records. I'm assuming I'm going to get the flak for that.
No, it's because you made me laugh when I was drinking, because you went, it's like that, and it made me laugh, and I spat.
I just think it upsets me that you never pick on Ricky. You never ever go in because you know he's the one who's raised your profile and made you a little bit of a celebrity.
We've missed one here. Using his teeth, Raman Andiapan, right? Husked a coconut.
He did what?
He husked a coconut. He's the fastest coconut husker in the world.
What does that mean?
I don't know, he pulls husks.
What's that?
His little face, look.
What's a coconut husking?
He pulls the husk up and look at Carl, just with his head down. Carl, come on. What's the matter?
Because that cost me 20 quid.
I know, well, I'll see you alright. I've
tea all over the world's smallest man.
Why have they stood him next to the world's biggest man?
Right, I'm in a bad mood now.
Oh dear. So you haven't got a team? Steve, I'll sort you out. Come to me. I'll sort you out.
Seriously,
don't worry.
I found someone who would help you win this week, Carl. And I was going to tell you about it, and now...
Steve, you can be on my team this week, and I know something about the quiz that Carl doesn't know. So...
I'll tell you, I just think that it's so ungrateful.
Whatever.
So ungrateful.
Right, Songs of Phrase, just give it a couple more plays. Just email in, we'll pick a winner soon. Ricky.Gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Well, this is rubbish this week. No one knows it because it's rubbish. Steve was right.
There's 6 songs there, so if you know what they are, just...
That's the end of that, I think. That's the end of Songs of Phrase.
Email in.
I think. We've got none left. No. That's the last week for that.
Okay, well, why didn't he give us some monkey news? Is it monkey news time?
Come on, monkey news.
We'll play a song and we'll...
No,
let's
monkey news.
Let's play a song.
Oh, it's a great track.
Cheer up, Carl.
Waiting for an Alibi with Thin Lizzy.
What year
Doesn't have to be new. It's brilliant.
What year was it out?
Oh, Einstein wasn't new when he came up with the greatest theory ever. Oh, hold on. Hey, hold on, you're not new. You're not new. Okay, this is with all the trauma in the world, I thought we'd come on a little bit, and he's just brought it right down. Little mank twat whinges. No, but I mean, do you know what I mean? He's had a go at you. He's thrown you off his team.
I'm devastated by that. That was the one thing I was looking forward to this week.
To be fair, you were looking forward to telling him you were taking over the team, so it's sort of poetic justice. It has blown up in your face, to be fair.
True, I was trying to squeeze him out of his own company.
Yeah, you were going to try and get him out of his team.
Yeah, well,
it was a hostile takeover, and they clubbed together.
To be honest with you, there's normally 3 regulars on his team. I got 2 of them on my side, one of which was his girlfriend. So I only had to work on him to try and get him to resign, and we'd have been away. Still. You know, we should give the prizes away.
Yeah, well, this has been dreadful. This thing. We started off well with him trying to force burgers in his mouth, and then he'd come up with this tapped. I mean, this is the end of this because it's. I mean, it was shoddy to start with. No, a duo couple. Well, this is not only.
I'm just saying. This is what I was saying in the pub yesterday when you tried to be sick on my leg. I was saying, come up with new ideas if you don't like them, but you diss them on air.
Well, it's just disappointing, isn't it? And awesome, right. What's that?
I was disappointed when I was choking before.
We were disappointed as well.
Yeah, you didn't try. You didn't try with the grapes. You were just like chewing like that. You meant to just throw them in and swallow them.
Songs of phrase. It was 6 songs. It sounded like this.
Boring.
Had doors in a house.
Right, what are they? Just give the
6
answers.
songs there. We had Lionel Richie, My Destiny, for my.
Tricky.
Neighbour.
Oh, that's XFM. Ooh.
My neighbour was Space. Neighbourhood. Had Harry Connick Jr. Had to be you.
Yeah.
Right. Had your neighbour had a horse.
Horse from
America.
America, yeah.
We had a horse.
In
was Lisa Stansfield with
pathetic.
In All the Right Places.
Oh, pathetic. Did anyone get that? Did anyone get that?
And
No one got that. So that was pointless.
Alright, well, the most anyone got was 3, and so we're going to give it to Deborah, and that's possibly Deborah and Kate. They got at least 3 of those, so well done.
Well done. There's prizes on the way. That's the end of that. So that's the no cheapest chimps, none of that anymore. What have you got left? You got the film to do? Let's see what you've done with the film.
Hang on, I'd love to have some monkey news, though.
Go on then. Got any monkey news?
Yeah, I got some monkey news.
Come on then.
No, Rick, come on. Cheer up.
Well, it's a sort of like, he moans that he's got too much time on his hands, and he comes up with that
Okay.
Shite.
Monkey news. The jingle, please.
Ooh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Okay,
There's been quite a lot of stuff going on. There was a few bits in that Guinness Book of Records book that cost me 20 quid.
Yeah, well, that's not news, is it? They printed that probably last September.
No,
so that's
there's one in there.
New music. New monkey news from last September. You're a lord.
Come on.
Waster.
Please, Ricky. Monkey news.
Right. There was this monkey in a zoo in Brazil.
Right.
And this little man monkey, little woman monkey. And
you're a scientist, aren't you? Go on.
And they said the people in charge were like, "Oh, wouldn't it be good if they had kids?"
Brilliant.
Right. So anyway, the chimps used to stand sort of, they'd have their little caves each, and they used to sort of lean on the fence having a bit of a chat and stuff with each other. Right? Well,
gossiping,
the equivalent sort of thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, they were getting on a storm, and like the zookeepers were like,
"Can you hear that cheapest chimps this week?" Okay, it was fascinating. Yeah, just gossiping. I understand.
So what's any monkey news? I don't know, let's tune in.
What was monkey news this week?
Come on. It was from last September.
They were stood there having a chat, and the zookeepers were like, "I wonder if they're ever gonna, have kids and that."
Yeah.
Anyway, it went on for ages. This just chatting, no sort of action. So what the zookeepers did was, they said, "I know they'll have kids."
Are we letting that go? They were just chatting. Are we just letting that go?
You know what I mean? I mean, just doing whatever monkeys do.
Okay.
Right? So the zookeepers were like, "Yeah, I wonder when they're gonna, have some kids." Yeah. Anyway, what they decided to do, to egg them on.
Yeah.
Bought one of them a suit, one a wedding dress.
Right.
Keep going.
No, I'm not having it.
Shut up, Gervais. Fade him down if he's going to interrupt. I want to hear the rest of this.
They got married.
So they got married?
Yeah, they got married.
Right.
What? That's the end of it! This is why I don't... Right, that's the end of monkey news. That's the end of monkey news. Don't do that again, you've got no features left.
Why don't you like that?
Well, it's not a story! It's about 2 chimps chatting, which doesn't happen. The zookeeper's going, "I wonder if they're going to ever have kids." Egg them on. They got married. That's the end of the story. What are you talking about?
Hang on, just calm down. Let me just check that you didn't make a mistake there and didn't lose out.
What do you mean you didn't make a mistake?
Wait a minute, he may have just left out a fundamental piece of information.
What, the story?
That would have made it into a story.
Right.
Let me just check the facts. So they bought them wedding outfits. They were married. Did they propose to each other, or were they just forcibly married?
Don't encourage him.
Just forced onto
And then what was the outcome? Once they got married, what happened? They fell in love?
Yeah.
What?
Whoa.
It's not a marriage, Carl.
Be quiet.
It's not a real marriage. I don't know what you've got in your head. It's like the head of Homer Simpson. I'd go in there, and there'd be a wedding reception, and there'd be a couple of fights, and they'd be talking about stuff.
They got married. They fell in love. Did they have children?
They're not back off the honeymoon yet.
Play a record. You got no features left.
Eve, Satisfaction, new single coming out.
Yeah, XFM, quick, play it. Right, we've waited 3 weeks, we are going to play it. I don't care whether we're late. We were late in because there was news. So, play it.
Which film are you in this week?
Looking at Silence of the Lambs.
Right, play it. Just play it.
Have we got a question?
Well,
No, who cares? Who cares? Should Carl carry on? Play it.
Right, Silence of the Lambs. The bit where Jodie Foster is having a chat.
Good evening, Clarice.
Right. Just thought I'd come and see you.
How very thoughtful.
Don't mind me popping in though, do you? It's just no one else is interested in the sort of things I like talking about.
People will say we're in love.
Well, say what they want. Did you hear the show last week? We were talking about gay people, if they should have their own toilets or not and stuff.
That was good.
Yeah, it was all right, wasn't it? Got a good debate going. Enjoy doing the show. It's a favourite part of my week, really, just talking about weird stuff and that.
Oh, Clarice, your problem is you need to get more fun out of life.
I have a lot of fun in my life. You know, come and see you, and spend a lot of time on the internet looking up weird stuff. Reading something about a hairy Chinese kid. There's another thing. There's a fella who no arms and legs. He's known as a pillar man.
Everything you need to find him is right there in those pages.
Bizarre magazine. Yeah, I get this. The hairy Chinese kid, what annoys me is he could sort it out. He could just have a shave, couldn't he? Do you know what I mean?
No, he cuts.
Does he? Well, use some like Emacs stuff. Yeah, don't be getting funny with me, just 'cause you're in a bit of a mood, right? You know you shouldn't eat people. Your eyes are bigger than your belly, I've always said that, so... See you later.
Interesting. Atmospheric, moody, and the question is... okay, how about this? How many films have been made featuring the character Hannibal Lecter? How many films
They
have been
haven't
made?
got time to phone in now, have they?
No, they can email in, they'll have time. Do you care?
I don't care.
No, exactly. Ricky.Gervais, xfm.co.uk, if you can be bothered. If you're interested in what, you want a £4.99 copy on VHS of Silence of the Lambs.
He's dissing that as well, Carl. Wasn't it that?
Bit annoying, but that's it for this week.
But remember what happened when... No, it's not. It's 9 minutes to 3. How can that...
Tell him, Steve.
No. How can that be it? It's 9 minutes to 3. What's he doing? Is he playing a record?
Carl, what can I do to get back on your quiz team?
You're not.
Come on.
Talking to the songbird yesterday.
Right. Songbird Oasis, right. Send Carl a little present. Send him some essential oils or something, or, a little lavender pillow, or just a little message. Send him a little message. Tell him it's all worth it. He's getting all grumpy, aren't you?
I just get sick of it, that's all. It's not worth for going through the stress for 30 quid every Saturday.
You lying little... You get more than 30 quid.
Oh, not much more. Anyway, Steve, who's the winner?
The winner is Mike McNulty. He correctly answered the fact that there were 4 films featuring Hannibal Lecter.
There's a downer now, isn't there? There's a downer.
I think it was you, actually. I mean, I don't know, Carl. It's not like I'm just trying to win myself a place on your team, but I actually felt that Ricky was really out of order this week.
I gave him grapes.
I thought Ricky was discourteous, if that's a word. I thought he was rude, aggressive, unpleasant. As one person emailed in, a dickhead. So, someone also said you were fat and talentless. Right. I don't like those emailers who do that sort of thing, but one of them said you were really, really annoying.
Well, cheers for that, but you're still not on the
they didn't
team.
like what you were wearing.
So, back next week.
What did you say?
He went, cheers for that, but you